We're live.
That time to chop your head off.
Say it. Go.
Hi. You usually do the intro, dude.
Whatever. Welcome. Welcome to Political Trendy Radio, episode 57 for the 18th, I think?
18th, yeah.
18th of January 2015. You can email the show at ellinthemood@gmail.com. Twitter is at ptradio666. Facebook.com/politicaltrendyradio. No shit. And other various beautiful links. My name is Elliot Lindemood, and I'm here with...
I am the Jim. I fuck eagles mid-flight. I rape them hard. I rape all eagles.
Well, you were crucified on an eagle once.
Yes, I was crucified on the bird.
I'm also here with...
Eric, I'm probably going to leave soon because I have to go get dinner.
Pussy.
We had chili cheese dogs for dinner.
I had sandwiches.
Sandwiches are good, too.
And lots and lots of coffee. I just evacuated my bowels.
Coffee's always good. So yeah, some guy from the Eagles died, and we don't care because the Eagles suck dick. Sorry to everyone for the bad audio last week. It turns out it was my fault after all. And we didn't get to do an outro, so officially the show never ended.
Yay, it never ended until it died on me.
Yeah. Well, I
was reading Florida Man.
I was trying to get back into it because I thought, okay, because it went quiet, but I thought, you know, if I could just restart it, but then it wasn't, the hard drive wasn't spinning, so I was like, oh, I know what I have to do. So I had to discharge it and recharge it, and I was like, oh, that's going to be a while, but sorry, people. It was my fault. Well, not my fault, my computer's fault. I need a better one.
Did you hear about the Midget Battle Royale?
The Chili Bowl?
This is actually Miniature Wrestling Associate. The
You're talking about Midget
Wrestling Alliance. It had a bunch of midgets jump in the ring and wrestle each other. In a battle royale, you have to throw them out of the ring. But because they're small, it lasted like over 4 hours.
You're talking about midget people. I was making a joke about midget race cars. No, I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, essentially it lasted well over 4 hours with no one being thrown out because, you know, they're kind of small and they'd have to work their way out of the ring. And if they're any good at wrestling, it's going to be a bitch to work them there.
So this is real.
Promoter said, I was so happy that I actually found 20 midgets. I didn't think much about it, the match itself. I should have at least imposed a time limit.
No. You have to have a dwarf.
4 hours.
No. You have to have a dwarf in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell's the difference between a midget and a dwarf?
It has to deal with proportion. That's all it is, and
so which one
growth pattern? So it's kind of nitpicky.
Which ones are the normal but smaller?
I don't know. I want to say midget.
And which one? I think dwarves are maybe a little bit bigger. And one of them has the like the weird out of proportion shaped. I want to say dwarves are the normal, and midgets are the.
I don't know.
Of course.
A second. I have internet. I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah. Then we got to answer this question. I think dwarves might be a little bit bigger. So now that we've just scared off every decent member, I've actually advertised on Metal Archives.
A dwarf is extremely short adult who is less than 58 inches tall. The word midget is considered derogatory and offensive.
I actually knew someone who's 4'9". She was in high school, but she was 18. I guess that counts as a dwarf.
Midget refers to a person who is very short but normally proportioned.
Okay, so midgets are the normal proportion. Dwarves are the ones that look old.
Dwarf refers to a person with one of several varieties of specific condition called dwarfism.
Yeah, okay. So the dwarves are the sausage fingers.
Yeah, they got the disproportionate body parts.
Yes, basically the dwarves are the funny looking ones.
But, you know, it still kicks ass that there were like 20 midgets in a ring wrestling it out. And you know, to last 4 hours with no one being thrown out of the ring, that they all had to be at least competent, if not good at doing this kind of shit.
Can you imagine the commentary? And it's hour 3, and they're still going at it, and I ran out of coffee.
Holy shit, look at him. He's got him in a fucking head vice, and this guy's doing another power slam, and this guy's picking another one up, trying to throw him over the ring, and oh no, he got kicked in the balls again.
Yes, but after like the first 2 or 3 hours, it's going to be like, okay, so what do you want to talk about, the state of the world?
Fuck, they're still going. Well, any announcer worth their weight will still try to make it sound exciting after that point. I'd watch for all 4 fucking hours. It'd be fucking wild. You just see all these people going nuts.
They should live stream it.
Mm-hmm.
They should definitely live stream it. Have you seen the, it's not really much to watch because it's just a bunch of people getting crushed to death, but it was a 1989 Hillsborough riot or a Hillsborough disaster.
No, I did not see that.
It was a soccer thing where basically they had really overcrowded pens for people to stand in and watch the soccer match, and people were basically getting crushed to death, you know, dying of asphyxiation. And the thing is, the cops didn't realize it, so they were still ushering people into the pens. 96 people died. 96 people died because of it.
Damn. Sounds like a rock and roll good time. Why the hell didn't I hear of it?
Look at it. Well, it's in England. Well, it was in England. Look it up on Wikipedia because it's just a whole bunch of fucked up politics and a whole bunch of soccer laws because they didn't want to, you know, hooliganism is a huge thing over there. So they have really restrictive things for. But yeah, look it up on Wikipedia. It's actually worth a read.
But I thought hooliganism was like a national pastime over there.
Well, it's a national pastime, but it's not really one they're proud of. It's a national pastime everywhere. Like
they should be proud of that shit. You know,
I know they should be.
Streets and fucking flipping over cars. Things are on fire. Doesn't matter if your team won or lost. You'll do it anyway.
We'll see. Yeah. It doesn't even matter if your team plays before they start the show, before they start the game. See, like we have Lakers fans, and they think they're badasses. I want to put Lakers fans on a fucking, you know, fucking Chelsea and fucking Sheffield or, you know, Liverpool match and see how they fare. They'll die. Don't mess with soccer fans. But yeah, there's just a whole bunch of laws that they've banned international travel for known football hooligans. They've had to do matches with no one in the stands because of fear of football hooliganism. So it's actually worth reading about it, even if you don't care about soccer like me. I don't care about soccer. I just want to know the violence that the fans commit.
On for more bullshit politics, we have Harvard scientists studied the brains of pot smokers, and the results don't look good. Ooh.
Yeah, the results don't look good to you, but to me they look awesome.
Well, the whole thing is, you know, they're talking about this is the first time we fucking got good samples of like people who smoke pot and were high functioning, did good at jobs. And when we did the brain scan, part of the brains were deviant from the same part of the brain in people that didn't smoke pot. And we're wondering why. And guess which part of the brain is deviant?
Which part?
The part that controls pleasure.
No shit. They know fucking pleasure more than most people do.
Well, the whole thing is, you know, it's supposed to be your feelings of reward and all this shit, you know. It's like, yeah, you realize that you're doing a drug that's supposed to make you feel good. Hence, yes, it is going to work that, and it's going to give you a reward whenever you do it.
Yep.
It's not going to make it physically addictive, But that's what makes it psychologically addictive.
Yeah.
We've been over the psychological addiction many times in school. What the fuck are you guys smoking for bitching about this, saying it's doomsday?
Actually, what are they not smoking?
Mm.
They need to smoke something.
No, I think they're smoking crack.
That would, yeah.
I gotta bash potheads because I want crack.
Yeah. Sorry, I lost my place for a minute because for a minute I thought I was in another dimension.
Yeah, this is like just fucking retard. So fuck you, Harvard, for big pussies.
Yeah, Harvard.
Not comprehending that this is kind of shit we were taught in school, and it's all easily explained.
Well,
But you got to raise the flag like it's doomsday.
why explain it easily when you can spend untold amounts of money and study it?
And keep throwing the panic button because that'll just get you more money.
Yep. Al Jazeera America is closing its doors. The only cable news thing I actually really watched, because they would talk about shit like news that isn't in a country called America. So that sucks, but Al Jazeera English is still gonna happen. So, whatever. It's
As long as it's in an English language and I can understand it, or even if it's subtitled. I know you don't hate subtitles, but
they're taking
I'm
off.
fine with it.
It's not going to be on TV. It's just going to be online now. Everyone reads Al Jazeera. Even fucking conservatives read Al Jazeera. I mean, they may not admit to doing it, but I know they do it. Especially if you're into world affairs or work in world affairs, you read Al Jazeera. But it wasn't going to do well because of that name, the Middle Eastern name, terrorism. So it sucks shit. But you know what? I don't really watch I haven't really watched TV since July of maybe 2013. I only watched Al Jazeera English from streaming services. So
I've only really watched TV whenever my girlfriend had it on. Half the time it was to turn over and say, would you mind taking that upstairs or something? This is fucking annoying shit. Or more often than not, I'm not even paying attention to what the hell's going on. I've got my headset on. Then, I kill the headset and I'm doing shit. And she passed out and we got the most annoying infomercials on.
Oh, come on. Infomercials are awesome, especially when you're stoned at 2 in the morning.
Oh, you see, the good ones, yeah. Oh, God. I still love the fucking miracle water. God, I have had this dream for years. When he says I'll make it come true, what I want to do is ferment urine.
Yes.
So that it has an alcohol content. And then sell it to rich people.
Yes.
Give it real fancy bottling, real fancy label, but it's fermented urine. I mean, they already drink lemur shit. Well, that's what Cape Luwak is. It comes out of the rectal orifice of the Luwak.
No,
which is a
thank you.
lemur-like creature. And it eats coffee beans whole, and it shits them out whole. And then people just pick it out of the shit, and it's supposed to give it this strange, nutty flavor, to which I say, you're drinking shit. It's essentially liquid diarrhea.
Allen will be proud.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesomely disgusting. God, what was I gonna say? Yeah, the infomercial, and I told you about my favorite pastime of getting really high and sitting on a couch watching QVC for hours on end and wanting everything that they had. If it doesn't matter how stupid it was, I wanted it.
There was this video game for the 3DO. It was called Twisted, the game show. There was just a bunch of mini games you're rolling, and it was early 90s. It was reminiscent of Max Headroom with some kind of things going on.
Yeah.
But the characters in the game that you got to select from were your typical cartoonatures from. This is all live action acted out, but they were definitely ripoffs of every fucking the 6 major infomercial cliches. The kids' toy trying to sell kids' toys. The fucking crooked fucking crooked minister trying to pawn salvation for $5. The fitness Nazi who's an ex-Marine. It's shit like that. It was fucking awesome.
You know
what show are we talking about?
You know what they didn't do was the automotive salesman.
They had that. They had the automotive salesman with his mascot dog.
Yeah, buy this part. It'll somehow make you better. My favorite was there's a thing called a tornado. Are you familiar with the tornado? Okay, someone's beeping there.
Well, Elliot, that's because we live in a society where there's a price tag on literally everything, and even bottled water is sold as a commodity.
So, anyway, if you could block him, that would be fantastic, because I didn't want him on the show. In fact, I specifically told him not to come on the show, so if you could block him, that would be... Just saying. Jim.
And I tried.
Yeah, he needs to get
a... It's not letting me block him.
Yeah, he needs to get a fucking... Well, I think he might have blocked you.
No, I didn't.
Oh, well, you should have got the hint that you were really annoying that one time and pissed me off. So, anyway, there's a thing called the Tornado, which was a thing you put in the car and was supposed to improve fuel mileage. They sold them at Pep Boys where my dad worked, and people would ask him about it, and he would just go, I don't know. And I remember this commercial. I had a little 3-cylinder convertible, and it went like 70 miles an hour. We put it in we put the Tornado in, and my mechanic got a speeding ticket for going 140 miles an hour. I used to love those. Jim, you got stories?
Yeah, I've had a ton of stories. No, I'm trying to fucking get them up here because I was trying different shit. Hold on.
I'm trying to hold on, but I have nothing to hold on to. My leftover fucking... There we go. Why do people live? I don't like life. Fuck.
Well,
while you're working on that, I'm gonna shit on Scott. I'm going to kill you. I hate you so much, Scott. Scott Vogler. You know who he is, Jim, obviously. PTR fans know who he is. RazörFist.
Oh, by the way, I just wanted to apologize for being like super stoned that last time and just ruining the show.
I have to yell at you, Paul. It's what I do. So I'm going to yell at you for 45 more minutes.
Okay.
Ready? Ready? I can't think of anything to yell at you for. Whatever.
I mean, you are literally the one that sent me a friend request the next day.
I didn't send you a friend request the next day.
Something like that. I don't remember.
No.
Entirely.
I don't even remember doing that.
I do remember you sending me a friend request.
You sent me a friend request, Dick. No, wait. Your name's not Dick. Your name's Paul. Ah! I don't know. Maybe Anarcha did. I don't know. Anarcha has my Facebook.
Wait, no, it was like a week ago, actually. I woke up and there was a friend
anything?
request from you.
It's okay, Jim. Just let it go for a while. Paul, do you know who RazörFist is?
RazörFist? No, I do not.
Jim.
Yeah.
RazörFist.
Yeah, he does a bunch of vlogs and shit, ranting about this and that, goes all hyperactive.
So Scott showed me this thing, and I wanted to look because it was a band, it was a band I like, Gorgoroth, and it said the definitive history.
Gorgoroth is fucking amazing.
Yes, they are. Keep in mind, I already know that.
What's your favorite Gorgoroth album?
I don't know. The early stuff is really good. The later stuff is really good. I don't really care for the Gall stuff.
Really? Because for me, it's Gull. I listen to Gore. No, I listen to Gorgoth for Gull.
Okay.
I think like all his project, like Godseed was great. Trelldom was great.
So what were you saying?
Yeah, Trolldom's okay. So he has this style. So I clicked on Gorgoroth because I wanted to hear it, right? Because I'm a huge Gorgoroth fan. Infernus is one of my heroes when it comes to things like work ethic and things like that and beliefs and shit. He just seems like an awesome guy. A little too serious.
Neo-Nazi?
No, that's Vic Hernez from Burzum.
Okay. Well, no, I knew that too, but there are a lot of neo-Nazis in black metal.
Yes. Including me. Heil Wiener Schnitzel. So anyway, I clicked on it, and this guy just has the worst style. He might know everything about metal. I couldn't get past the intros to his videos because his style is just so hyperactively. I'm like, dude, lay off the speed. His voice is the most annoying thing ever, and in my opinion, he needs to jump off a cliff. So that's
so
my
we're talking like
race.
like Ranter and Shades.
Yeah, he gets annoying.
Kind of like PM rants.
I really couldn't get into a single thing he did. It was just like, hi, I'm gonna fucking talk at 8 miles an hour like I'm all coked up, and I'm gonna fucking do all this.
Yeah, he was annoying.
Hey, if you think that stuff's annoying, have you seen Mason's channel?
Yes. Yes, I have.
See, you can always be worse.
You see, I can't hear a damn thing he says because I got him blocked on my end. It just didn't work.
He said, have you ever seen Mason's channel?
I have never been there. Nor do I want to, knowing him.
You've never seen Mason's channel? Oh my god.
And I don't want to.
I saw like one of his videos. And I saw his...
Was it the objective morality one?
Oh god. It was a Slipknot album review. And I also saw his Q&A, which we spammed.
And whenever he tries to talk politics, all he does is just shout
what kind of
buzzwords.
questions did you ask him?
Asked Scott. He was like, what was the square root of your mom's butthole times something? I was just like...
Oh, I asked him what the hell kind of hair product
Come on,
he used.
you're not going to ask the heavy-hitting questions.
Paul asked what kind of hair product he uses.
That's just lame, man.
Yeah.
Have you seen his hair? What the hell he's doing?
Ask him how many children's cocks he's sucked.
He is a child, though.
Yeah, he's 14.
Yeah. So he probably sucked his own cock.
You see,
if you could do that, I'm impressed.
You got something to go with, then.
I think I'm gonna do something where you have to be 18 or older to come into the Hangouts.
Well, yeah, but everyone lies about their age on the internet anyway.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's more of a legal thing than anything else. That way I can't be sued for child porn or something.
Mm-hmm.
But, oh god, what else? Yeah, Mason's channel. No, I saw two of his... I've been in several of his live streams where he has his friends come on that Noah and I annoy, and they get offended and leave and cry.
Oh, he added me to one.
Yeah, they cry.
They all left about 15 minutes after
Just
I
as
joined.
they should.
Yes. Yes, they should. If you're wondering why there's two people talking at once, it's because one has the other blocked. So this actually makes for really fun radio. Shit. What the hell? Sorry. I found my gold extension cord. Jim, have you found the stories yet?
Yes, I have found them.
Okay, please read a story.
Metal is being killed by cliches.
Oh my god, yes. Thank you, Eric.
Oh no, please not this one.
Metal is defined by its musical and visual tics, but in 2016, the current year, it seems that they're strangling the genre into irrelevance. To which I say, is relevance any good, considering that, Beyonce's relevant? And she
I
makes me
never
vomit.
gave a shit. I mean, Creeping Death by Metallica's cliche. I mean, that shit's been done for years. But I love that song. I don't care if the song's good. What do I care if the music is? Why would I care if the lyrics have been done before? I get progression is cool and there are progressive bands and all that stuff. But when it comes
Metallica's progressive?
No, when it comes down to it, no. I was saying that progressive bands are always all cool. When it comes down to it, though, if music is good for me, I don't care if it's municipal waste playing the same thrash thing. Granted, I do make fun of some cliches, but at the same time, I'm not too big on others like satanic black metal. I'm not gonna make fun of that.
It's not like you can understand the lyrics.
Yeah,
Don't lie to yourself. You can't.
Continue your story. Well, but continue your story, Jim.
Something is wrong with metal. Look around in most genres. We've seen major acts spring up in the last decade and make an impact commercially, culturally, and on global scale. I'm not the first to say it. Metal is not making new superstars.
Uh-huh.
Is that a bad thing?
Last time metal made new superstars, there were names like Limp Bizkit, Korn, and
other bands.
No, they were names like Bring Me the Horizon and Pierce the Veil.
But they didn't get as big as Limp Bizkit did.
I would argue that they have. As someone who recently graduated high school,
they're still getting radio airtime, and I'm glad I don't have to fucking listen to the radio anymore. That might change depending upon what I get as a job, but fuck it.
Yeah, okay, Bring Me the Horizon. Yeah, okay. I would say, I would say they're big, they're definitely, but yeah, the last time metal had a real, metalcore, but new metal was. Sorry, I was distracted by something. But
I don't know anyone that ever liked Limp Bizkit.
Oh, I knew 2 people who like Limp Bizkit.
Well, they're not really people if they like Limp Bizkit.
That's true. Yes. That is a quote I want framed on my wall. They're not really people if they like Limp Bizkit. I'm just repeating it for Jim.
Yay. Anyhow, there's no new band who'll turn up on The Simpsons or who will break the internet. The biggest metal news flash in years has been the death of Lemmy. As a genre, we're largely stuck in the mud of the past.
Okay, first of all, if someone appears on The Simpsons, well, they call
Judas Priest.
Yeah, they call Judas Priest a death metal band.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't watch
really reliable
TV like at all, but
yeah,
it does sound familiar.
And about breaking the internet, who cares?
Fucking baby metal broke the internet.
Yes, baby metal did break the internet. Yes. Yeah. Could you just unblock him for a minute? This is getting a little annoying. Because I have to translate whenever he says something kind of witty. It's okay.
Wisecracks is 80% of what I do anyway.
Yeah, true. I was just in a kind of a shit mood because I was really tired, so.
I just woke up from an afternoon nap.
No, I mean that Christmas episode. I was not really in the mood for fucking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And plus there were like 8 people, and I don't know.
That is true. I don't like it when there are like more than like 4 people in a hangout. Anyway.
How did he join?
Okay.
How did I join?
Yeah, how did you join?
You can find the link on your Google Plus, which is public.
Oh.
That's how Mason keeps finding it.
Ugh. Listen, well, because I don't, because we've had trolls come in, so I'm gonna set it to just friends. But keep reading your story.
I've heard people blame the music industry or piracy for this lack of renewal. I don't buy it. if we take the launch of Napster in 1999 as a threshold moment, then remember Lady Gaga's debut came out 9 years later, sold almost 5 million copies, and instantly made her a cultural icon. This theory pretty much crumbles.
Stop. Are they really comparing metal to Lady Gaga?
Yes, they just did.
The point of metal is to be on the fringe of culture anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The point of metal is to be underground and fucking... Yeah, why do I care if metal's huge and mega? Oh, fuck.
I don't want it to be. That's how we get shit like Limp Bizkit.
See, what we do now is we read like articles like this and basically torture ourselves.
Yep. And it's painful.
Yeah, at this rate, I'm gonna need a safe word.
Ah, fuck safe words. We're diving right into this shit storm, and it's gonna hurt every second.
Nana.
Okay, so
Continue with your story.
The machine isn't broken. Stars are still made, and seemingly everywhere but metal. Does that even matter? God. If you ask me, we've gone all rulesy. Now, rulesy isn't a real word. Thank you for recognizing that, you fucking piece of shit. But it's the best one to describe this condition. Let me enlighten you.
Oh, hang on. Barf bag right here.
Okay, first of all, before we even go on, I'd like to point out that the person writing this article is from fucking Gamma Bomb, like the most cliche of 90s thrash revival.
Really? The person writing
Yes.
this is from...
It's
Aw,
the vocalist from Gamma Bomb.
Aw, and I liked them. I can't like them
Well-
any longer.
Yeah, you can. Do you like Burzum?
Yeah. Yeah, but with all the racist shit Vargas said, it's nowhere as stupid as this.
That's the link to what I'm reading here.
That
So you can
is-
sing along.
It's written by the guy from... Oh, what was his name? What's his name?
Gamma Bomb?
What's the guy's name? I used to know his name.
Philly Barn.
So, okay, yes, he does make a good point, though. Paul makes a great point. Gamma Bomb is cliche as hell. They're another retro thrash band. You've heard retro thrash, right, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
New bands pretending the 80s never existed. So what is he talking about, cliche? Oh, God. Continue, but, yes. See, he can make good points.
Yeah. Every metal subgenre has signifiers. Graphic design, clothing, musical embellishments, album production values, hair, even drink and drugs that are dictated by the stable they spring from. Board shorts don't belong aside swords, you know.
No, but cargo pants do. That's my new thing, cargo pants metal. And propeller hat metal.
Yeah.
Just basically because I love propeller hats. They're so stupid.
There are bands that wear propeller hats.
Are there?
I don't know.
I kind of want to start one now.
I was thinking of starting this new thing called propeller core. Like basically, if I don't know if you guys have heard like Youth Crew Hardcore, the stompy straight edge. We want you for the straight edge crew.
I actually did have a subgenre idea along those lines. You know how like people pretend that gore grind and porno grind are different genres, even though they sound exactly the same?
Yes.
What if we started one called shit grind, which is exactly the same as the other two, but we could pretend it's new and just make lyrics about literal shit?
Yes. But yes, actually, that would be hilarious. But I wanted to do like, we want you for the propeller crew. We want you. Fuck you.
That just sounds like hardcore.
Yeah. It's basically making fun of the preachy Boy Scout Youth Crew Hardcore, but replacing straight edge with propeller hats.
Oh, God. Reminds me of back in the day when my buddy he got one of those like invisible dog walking things you'd get from a cheap magic kit.
Things that everyone trips over all the time and are annoying as fuck.
And then he put a can of baked beans in it. So he was walking his baked beans. And that's how we went to shows.
That's awesome.
I do wish I had a propeller hat, though.
I wish I
You know
had.
how gent
What?
you know how gent bands like to wear snapbacks? That's what they should do.
That's more of a Wigger Slam thing, actually.
Yes, that is. Don't mention that. That makes me ashamed to be a Slam fan. Although, it's great that I'm blind really quick before you continue your story, Jim, because with bands like Epicardiectomy, if I had heard if I had seen what they look like before I listened to the music, I wouldn't have even given the time of the day. Because they're basically your worst a nightmare of what a Wigger looks like. So.
Yeah, because you see, when I want to listen to a Slam band, well, the first thing I do is look at their band picture and see if there are any snapbacks or chains. But you don't have that luxury, so I feel awful for you.
Yeah, true. But continue your story, Jim.
Actually, you just might be lucky on that one, not being able to see some people using retarded gimmicks.
Yeah, like Epicardiectomy. But I can always ask Eric or
Yeah,
Jim.
but the gimmicks make the music bad, and you don't get to see the warning signs. That's my point.
Yeah, true. But then when I just rant about it on here.
It's probably just better to give it a whirl and then shit on it later if it sucks. Those people do retarded shit all the time.
Name one good gimmick band that's worth listening to.
One good gimmick band that's worth listening to. What do you define as a gimmick? Because I could twist this into.
Okay, Kalma. Come to think of it.
Okay, what other
Fully
band?
taking on the whole swamp gimmick.
I mean,
Party Cannon.
So I would argue that if you have to argue over whether or not it's a gimmick, it's not a gimmick.
no, I mean like, what would you define as a gimmick? I mean, would you define something like Gore as a gimmick? I don't define Gore as a gimmick. Gore's not a gimmick. Gore's the band. I mean, it's just what they do.
It is a gimmick, though, even though they do good
Gimmick is
shit.
like a kind of like sales pitch or a certain image that you want to appear to.
Slipknot is more gimmicky than Gore is, I think.
No, I'd say they're both just about equal. Also comparing turds.
Nah, I think Slipknot is definitely all gimmick, whereas Gore tries to piece shit together. Slipknot claims to be doing shit from their soul and all this other fucking crap. It's like, oh, I'm gonna pour my heart out.
Now,
You're
Kiss.
still comparing turds.
Kiss is the ultimate gimmick band. No, because I love Gore. Kiss is the ultimate gimmick band. Because Kiss is a band whose notoriety is based solely on costume and almost nothing on music. Gore, you have people go and buy the records. Like, I didn't know Gore did the masks at first. I didn't know anything about this gimmick. I knew they had a interesting little story thing on Beyond Hell, but I loved the music first, and then I heard about the gimmick. Whereas
Stories
Kiss,
are different. Like, stories and concept albums are different than gimmicks. Like,
And
I'm
then-
the world's biggest Dream Theater fan, and I don't see them as being gimmicky.
and then I see them as being an abortion, but okay. The thing about Gore is, and then I realized, and then I heard about the costumes and the masks and the horror show, and okay, that's cool, but I think every band has a gimmick if you look at it hard enough. I mean,
Yeah, but the question is it all gimmick and no substance?
Gore is definitely not all gimmick and no substance.
But at the
Kiss-
same time... Sorry, keep going.
What? No, what were you saying?
At the same time, there are bands that do have substance and gimmick strong. For example, I am very... Like, I don't give a shit about the band at all. I think, like, I'll occasionally listen to them, but Fintroll, they're so gimmicky.
I've never heard them.
It's party folk metal.
Yeah.
And they
That's
dress
what
up
I've
like
heard.
they dress up like trolls, and then just sing about a bunch of about Finnish trolls just drinking
Yeah.
and getting hammered.
I've heard it's
Basically,
cute.
Corpaclani, but it's Corpaclani with trolls. The thing is that they are capable of writing good music. They don't
It's-
always do it, but they're capable.
It's Corpaclani,
also-
but a little less silly.
Well, Corpaclani is one of the worst bands to ever have
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
But another interesting thing is that the keyboardist is also in Moon Sorrow.
I mean, one could say that a gimmick would be Dark Angel's Time Does Not Heal album, and they boasted that it had 240 riffs. Granted,
No,
granted
that's just thrash being thrash.
No, it's prog thrash. Well, it's kind of prog thrash. Granted, I found the
Mostly
album.
thrash, though.
It's
part of the unholy trinity of thrash.
I found the album kind of meh, but still.
I'm not a thrash man, so.
I like thrash. It's just I never cared for Dark Angel. But continue your story, Jim.
These things that once made metal distinct and distinguished metal from metal are now fetishized. They've gone from expressions of identity to rules that govern every creative aspect of a band. They drive off new converts, still fresh, stifle fresh ideas, and keep outside perception of metal stagnant.
Once again, this is coming from someone who, if he writes like the most generic thrash, and I like generic thrash, and even I think they're too generic to live.
You see, thrash has to be something unique for me to listen to. For example, Obsu is an example of a perfect thrash band.
I like them. Yeah, I like them, but I mean, I like generic. I can listen to a couple Gamma Bomb whatever songs, but after that, I just get bored and I want to listen to something else. They don't have. They're not crossover enough for me to party. They're just. Why am I listening to this? I can listen to some Slayer. But, so yeah, he's basically saying, you know what, I think it is. He's Irish, so the Irish, get drunk all the time. Saying that is part Irish, obviously.
Is Gamma Bomb an Irish band?
Yes, they're from Ireland.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know they're signed to Earache Records.
The Island gives us shit like Primordial and then this re-thrash bullshit.
They gave us one good thrash band, but I can't remember their name. It was in the 90s, but I don't remember their name. The Irish gave
folk
us...
metal is the shit.
Irish folk music is the shit. Makes me want to drink. I don't know any real Irish bands, but anyway.
Primordial.
Yeah, okay, I've heard of them. I'll have to look them up again.
It's hard to not like them.
Well, if it's Irish folk metal, it is hard to not like them because I find it hard to not like Irish folk music. Even though I don't really listen to folk music, it makes me want whiskey.
See, I listen to both folk and folk music and folk metal. And the funniest part is that I don't drink.
I listen to fuck metal.
Is metal for fuckboys like Attila?
No, that's not even metal. Fuck off. Continue with your story before
it is metal, it's just terrible. Because just because something's bad doesn't mean it's not metal, you know.
If it's not on Metal Archives, it ain't metal.
No, Metal Archives is a joke.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute, but if we don't continue, we'll be on the story all day. So.
The cover art's the same, the logos are the same, the T-shirts are the same. What hope is there for a new Black Album? Oh, God.
None, because I hated the Black Album. I mean, I liked it when I was 12. Now that I'm 21, almost 22, I listen to it, and, okay, that song's shit, that song's passable, that song's shit, I have 3 songs out of 12 I can kind of listen to.
No,
you completely beat me to it.
See, that was one of the albums that got me into metal in the first place back in the 90s, and then... God, I can't even listen to it now.
Yeah, like I got into metal through like Children of, or like the extreme metal, I should say, through like Children of Bodom, and I look back on those years, and I'll be honest, I still do occasionally listen to them, but their newer stuff is awful.
Yeah, I can listen to old Children of Bodom. That's not obscene, but of the Black Album, I try to listen to it nowadays, and I'm just like.
What the fuck did I see in this?
yeah. It's okay. I'm gonna tell you a story. I don't mean to interrupt your story constantly, Jim, but I used to be an emo kid. Not really emo, but I liked emo music back in 2005. My sister used to go to like the Warped Tour and shit. I used to tag along because I liked extreme music with screams even then. But you have to remember, I was 11 years old, and when you're 11, you can't really go out to obscure record store, and I didn't have the internet back then, so it was basically whatever was on Fuse or some TV channel, right? Fuse? And whatever was on TV channel was emo, so I used to not really but it was the only choice I had. It was either that or fucking nothing. So I used to listen to
What's Fuse?
What?
What's Fuse?
Fuse is an I don't know if it's still around anymore. It was a TV station in like 2000s that used to. It was more of a rock station.
And are you guys in like 30s? I take it.
No, I'm 21.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
40.
You just started from a young age, Elliot.
Yeah, of course I started from a young age. I started when I was like, I got into metal when I was 8.
Okay. You see, my dad's a classic music professor, so I wasn't able to get into that stuff from a young age. It's kind of like cool. Now let's listen to some Holst.
Classical music can be decent, but anyway,
I still listen to it.
My point is, so I really like bands like, oh god, I don't want to mention, but Under Oath, The Used, Hawthorne Heights. And I come back and listen to them now, especially Under Oath, after someone gave They're Only Chasing Safety a 100% review on Metal Archives. Okay? That by the way, the Under Oath's only on Metal Archives because the first couple albums, which were decent, they weren't, but I re-listened to They're Only Chasing Safety. I don't know what I saw in that when I was 11. I honestly couldn't tell you what I saw in it. I knew I liked it, but I can't tell you what I saw in it when I was 11.
I don't believe in albums that are 100% perfect.
It's dreadful. No, I don't do. But and by the way, if you guys want to know how shit the album is without listening to it, Mason likes it.
There are good albums that Mason likes.
Continue with your story.
It's Russian roulette there.
Yeah.
I'm not above this either. My band Gamma Bomb pre-existed a MySpace-driven thrash revival, but we wrote it halfway around the world nonetheless. Initially, we were astonished. We were small-town worshippers of a dead genre, selling both beer and flattery on tap. The fact is, we were writing songs that deliberately referenced every facet of retro thrash.
Yeah. That's why I can't stand you guys, because you guys are basically doing what every other retro thrash band. Don't give me this shit about before, because your first album came out whenever the retro thrash thing was just picking up. So, sorry, kid.
Because we were worshiping.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
You see, the thing with retro thrash is that what I'm liking is the new wave of thrash that's been going on. That stuff I'm okay with, which I would actually argue like bands like Machine Head started. But retro thrash is just a step in the wrong direction.
See, Machine Head will be called kind of post thrash, kind of groovy, like Pantera. But see,
I like new Machine Head.
I'm not big on Machine Head. A couple songs every now and then, but and then there's the Burning Red. Don't get me started on the Burning Red and Supercharger. We'll be here all day because I can rant about those albums for years. Okay, hours. But I'm not huge on post thrash because I don't know. I feel it kind of dumbs down thrash and kind of grooves it up. But like retro thrash is basically, hey, you know that Slayer record? Let's write that 12 times. But anyway, continue with your. Well, I want to hear this guy's justification. I really want to hear this.
Keep going.
Because we were worshiping the old god so reverently. Well, words failing me. And doing it with some sense of self-awareness. We found favor when the revival blew up. I wear my cliches with a nerd's pride, but I also know my band's place and see the bigger picture.
Okay, do you see the bigger picture just because you think you can? Because, well, they were on Earache last time I checked. I don't know what label they're on now, but you're on a big label?
Yeah,
what label are they on now? Let me check. Let me just check really quick while you read.
I'm also going to be right back for food-related reasons.
Go for it. Just keep the munching off the mic. I know what you're thinking. I'm a flippant tourist here, yes, but I've done my time on the coalface over the last 14 years, and I see an industry in crisis. We're reliant on old fading bands and young bands who try to clone them. Which I say, why are you fucking cloning then?
So he's trying to justify why he is a no-talent retro thrash band.
Oh, okay.
don't get me wrong here. Game Bomb is fun to listen to for maybe 3 songs, 4 songs, but it gets old. Who's clicking?
Not me. Anyway.
It might be Shane because he never talks.
Of course,
clicking just went away. Hang on, wait. I found it really quick. They're on, the label they're on is AFM Music, which is a big, they have a bunch of power metal bands, and I think Rhapsody of Fire's on there and a couple others, so they're on a big labels. That's just, anyway.
Of course, there have been success stories. Ghosts have broken boundaries by mashing it up, wrapping their sound in a shroud of cultural winks. The Beach Boys meet Hammer Horror. Pentagram visiting Daft Punk's Taylor.
And none of these sounds appealing, by the way. The Beach Boys meeting Hammer Horror and Pentagram. Well, okay, it depends on what pentagram they're talking about. No, that actually doesn't, because either doom metal or death metal should not be. Daft Punk shouldn't have existed.
Yeah, God. They remind us that no matter the genre, the artist must ignore the rules to break through.
Well, I know I don't think about rules anyway. If I happen to write a slam album, I don't set out with the intention of writing a slam album. I set out listening to whatever music and seeing what comes to mind. If I happen to write something that sounds like Artery Eruption, sorry.
I'm just, ouch. Still trying to get my brain working.
I don't.
It's like, you gotta fucking listen to rules. Why don't you just structure things?
I thought this guy was someone from Death Heaven or something, but it turns out he was actually from a band he's accusing himself of being a cliche. I don't know. I don't want to think right now. I can't think about that because, frankly, his band doesn't deserve the time of day, and neither does him. He. What website is this, by the way?
This is Metal Hammer.
Of course, Metal Hammer, the website that was tweeting about the new Linkin Park album.
God.
And I yelled at them on Twitter for it. I was like, when the hell did Linkin Park become metal?
They want you to believe, so that way it gets record sales.
Listening to Linkin Park again, which I unfortunately did once because I was in the car and I had no fucking choice, at least Korn sounds like music. It doesn't sound like very good music, but it sounds like Linkin Park literally is the most predictable band I've ever heard. At least for their first 2 albums, you know when the choruses are coming up, you know exactly what's going to happen. Linkin Park is basically Linkin Park. Linkin Park. Especially when I was into them, their first 2 albums.
But honestly, in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Shut up.
Oh, shut up. You're going to get stabbed.
Yeah. You will actually get blocked for that.
The cult will rise.
I had that time myself, though. I fully admit it lasted like a month, but
it lasted. Well, once again, it was when I couldn't get any actual decent music, so I had to make do with anything that had quote unquote harsh vocals, and so.
Why couldn't you get any decent music?
Because I was 11, and you can't tell your mom that, hey, I found this band called Cannibal Corpse. Can I get an album called Butchered at Birth?
Oh, you were buying CDs then?
Yeah, I was 2005. I had never actually used the internet until I was 12.
Because you'd have to have someone find the CD for you.
Well, Braille computer. Yeah, I'd have to have someone find the CD for me.
Yeah, I assume that you did have a Braille keyboard and everything.
No, it wasn't until I was about 12 that I actually the Braille computer I was using, because I didn't even use a computer until I was 16. It wasn't until I was 12 that the Braille computer. Right? Yeah, I use a screen reader, but before
How do those work?
Well, really quickly, I used something called a Braille Note, which is a Braille computer, like a Braille laptop, and it had connectivity internet in 2006, Ethernet. That's how old-fashioned we were. And finally, wireless. So finally, I could use the internet. Couldn't go on YouTube or anything. It was very limited. Screener basically just reads out the screen. You input characters, and it reads out what it's doing in various commands. And by the way, I use NVDA, non-visual desktop access, which is the best screen reader around. That's not actually a plug. That's not actually marketing.
Does it take you a lot of time to go through that stuff?
Oh, hell no. Well, it depends on what web browser. Right now, no, it's very fast.
Are you using let's say you're on Facebook. First of all, how do you even know where to click?
I don't use a mouse. I use my keyboard for everything.
Okay.
So basically, I just go, arrow key, arrow key, arrow key down, scroll, scroll, scroll. And yes, it does take me a while to read my news feed, but it's only because it doesn't take me that long. There are shortcuts you can skip to the to the little edit field beside the comment if you want to speed up the process. Or
I'm gonna Google to see what this looks like.
NVDA, non-visual desktop access. They deserve your money because donations keep the program funded. So that's actually a plug from the heart. That's not because. Literally, if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be on the computer. Because I looked at other screen readers, and they're the best out there by far.
I'm just curious if you started reading your damn player's guide I shipped you.
Oh god, yeah.
How far did you get before it melted your brain?
See, I need you to explain shit because it's written in a way that you have to you have to think. But if you explain shit, you explain it in small words. Yeah, I didn't get very far.
All right.
Hell, I got confused when I was reading the character thing for Valorous. So, but once you explained it, I was like, oh, this is straightforward as hell.
Yeah, it's straightforward as hell. It's just easier, obviously, if you're sighted, but yeah.
When you write it down, it looks complicated as fuck. But whenever a human explains it to you, because they can use words that aren't there, it is straightforward as hell. But yes, NVDA.
Okay, let's get back to the article here.
Yes, please.
I think we're not creating more megastars because we're obsessed with sameness. You see it in festival posters where every logo looks identical. Shouts to Party Cannon on that account. Who the fuck's Party Cannon?
Some band I've heard of but didn't care
about.
Slam
band that it's like Wigger Slam, but their theme is around their logo is like a knockoff of the Toys R Us logo.
It's like Wigger Slam, but too lame for me to even consider listening to.
Okay.
People just enjoy their gimmick and that's it.
I haven't heard it. Okay, here, do they use drum programming? I don't know. Because usually if they use drum programming, they're usually a crap slam band. Like everything that Darren Palmer's created. Boom!
It's not whether or not they use drum programming, it's whether or not they use triggers.
Everyone used triggers. But yeah, I'm sorry, I had to get the fuck you Slamophiliac in there.
Yay. And endless photo shoots in abandoned warehouses in a sea of D beats and sweeping and picking up. Try muting whenever you're taking a bite.
Oh, duh, sorry. I forgot. I'm using a different mic than normal.
Yeah. Just mute it whenever you're taking a bite, unmute it whenever you want to chime in.
Yeah, that's what I do, because I'm like, no one wants to hear me eat. No one wants to hear me talk. Anyway, abandoned warehouses?
Yeah, abandoned warehouses in a sea of D beats, sweep picking and operatic vocals and syrupy synths.
Okay, those don't sound like they go good together. A D beat should be in a. I don't even want to think about it. I'm sorry. I'm actually reserving hate because I don't. See, my thing is, can you name, Jim? Can you name a mega metal band star that didn't? I don't use the word sellout because I'll get chided for using the word sellout. Compromise their metalness. Can you think of one metal band who didn't compromise their metalness and became mega stars?
Motorhead.
Motorhead didn't really become mega. Well, okay, see, I dispute those. Motorhead didn't really become mega stars. I mean, Lemmy wasn't that rich.
Okay.
And Slayer I would dispute because they're nowhere near as big as Metallica. Maiden. Yeah, okay. I will give you Iron Maiden. I will actually give you Iron Maiden. Okay, here. Can you think of one American metal band?
Your parameters have shifted.
Well, because there's a difference.
But the whole thing is that there's only like a handful that haven't like fucking completely fucked off.
Well, look. Even bands who had a glimpse of stardom or fame compromise the metal integrity. If you want me to name drop, I will. Of course.
Cannibal Corpse an acceptable answer here?
No. Entombed. Carcass. Sorry, Carlo. Fucking Sepultura. Oh god, don't give me.
Okay.
No.
Carcass is back to being metal, though.
I didn't like their latest album because I
loved Surgical Steel so much.
It sounded like a Heartwork 2.0, and I didn't care for Heartwork. I like the early I mean, I'm more extreme. Yeah, I'm more into grindcore and shit. So it was okay. Yeah. At the Gates. I know you don't like the first early albums, but In Flames. Oh God, don't mention In Flames. Oh. You know what? I told Corey, Jim. You think Slaughter of the Soul is a sellout? Listen to Soundtrack to Your Escape.
Here's an interesting answer. While they're not metal anymore, I would say Opeth has still kept music entirely in mind as the reason of doing everything.
Yeah, true.
Because they had nothing to do with selling out when they changed to prog rock. They just got bored of death metal.
Well, yeah, he quit Bloodbath, and he went. Yeah, true, Opeth, but as far as bands who became megastars and didn't, yes, I will give you Iron Maiden. But can you name any thrash or extreme metal bands that became? We're not even talking Slayer big. We're talking Metallica big.
Yeah.
So
okay, if those are the parameters, I can't really think of any.
You know why you can't think of any, Jimmy? You know why you can't think of any, Jim?
Because it's all about the money.
Because they don't exist.
It's either the money or the pussy they're going after.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, so basically what he's saying is why aren't there megastars? Because nobody wants to ride another Inner Sandman. Continue with the story while I vomit.
Yeah. Do me a favor. Whenever you keep your wherever you keep your T-shirts, your wardrobe, your drawer, the festering pile of unwashed clothes in the corner of your room that's slowly gaining sentience. I tried that experiment once. It failed.
Wouldn't that be cool, though?
That'd be great. I'd like to see my clothes eat people. Pretty much all black, aren't they? No, my gore shirts are usually white. Unless I took them to a show, then they're red and green.
No, because I mostly have motorsport T-shirts now. I'm actually just rebuilding my band and music shirt collection, but I actually have mostly racing and motorsport T-shirts. So up your ass.
Is it slimming and hides bean juice stains? It's not slimming. I wear it big as I can get it.
Yeah, me too, and I have problems with that.
Fucking
fat bastards
must die.
Fat bastards must die, so you must die.
No, I said skinny jeans must die.
Oh yeah, skinny. Yeah, I wear cargo pant shorts.
Some people can look good in them. Are we talking skinny jeans on fat men?
No, I refuse to even think about that.
Some chicks can look good in them.
I wear cargo pant shorts because cargo pants are very handy. I could probably carry a human skull in cargo pants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to carry a nice bit of cutlery when I was a kid.
You see, I work outside for
deep pockets and shit.
I'm outside for half of my job, so I wear just the warmest stuff you can get, really.
I'm outside for most of my job. I'm a contract killer.
Okay.
That'd be fun.
Do you have a job, Elliot?
This is pretty much it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I am trying to make some money off of this and actually trying to get it to the point where I can I mean, I don't want to get huge, but if I can, wait, I'm already huge. Fat joke. But if I can make enough money to basically live, that would be awesome. But this takes up a lot more time than you think it does.
I can see that.
Jim.
But to survive, metal needs pink T-shirts to be a small deal.
No.
I would totally wear a pink T-shirt.
The only pink T-shirt I have was one that I used to have before I went homeless. But
I'd get a Macintosh Plus Floral Shop T-shirt, and those are pink.
Depends on who the band is. If it's a band I really like, sure. Like if my Extreme Noise Terror T-shirt was pink, I'd wear it.
I don't know. Like, are you a Macintosh Plus fan? They're not metal, but if you like them,
I don't really know who they are, so.
it's vaporwave.
Yeah, I'm not into that kind of thing.
I actually am, surprisingly.
Yeah, that is. But yeah, I don't.
The only pink shirt I had was one I wore to a gore show. It used to be white, but then I washed it, and it was pink.
Then it grew color.
Yeah. At best, these rules smother creativity. Taking thrash as an example, obviously, it seems classic cover artist Ed Repka has never been busier nor ever more bored, judging by the volume of covers he's turning out for up-and-coming bands. Repka's classic period was about discovery. He hungrily worked with extreme, new bands to bring their fantasies and social clique to life. Now his style is in demand, but the creative force isn't there to meet him. The man did amazing cover of Leprosy by Death. Now he has to do it over and over again.
Okay, I see his point there because there
cover does not affect sound.
What?
Cover just doesn't affect sound.
Like I said, mute yourself if you're eating because it just gets
But album cover does not affect the sound at all.
Yeah, but still, it does. Well, it does kind of. There is a point to that though, because if you think about it, there's a difference between a groundbreaking new sound / cover / whatever, and going through the motions and doing the same. It's like I could write Death Leprosy 2.0. But yet, will my music be as groundbreaking as Leprosy? No, because the album's been created, 30 years ago?
Well, yeah, but you don't even know what album covers look like is the thing, and that doesn't affect the sound for you.
I know what album covers look like because people tell me what they look like.
Okay, fair enough.
I do have friends, you know.
No, but it's hard for you. But like, if you're like discovering an album, you can't like. Is my point.
Yeah, but still, I if I hear in a, like I said, a Metal Archives review, which is pretty much the only review I read because, let's face it, most music journalists are twats, and the fans are the people who count. And there are people on Metal Archives who I actually really respect their opinions. I don't always agree with them, but if they say a cover looks interesting, I'll ask Jim, hey Jim, what does this cover look like? And he'll usually tell me. Or he'll be too drunk, or not drunk, but you know.
I'll be right back.
Alright. Continue your trek through this cesspool. But yeah, he does kind of make a good point with that, but...
At worst, these rules provide a kind of underbrush from which elitists and nutcases can snipe at those perceived transgressors.
Nothing wrong with musical elitism.
Yeah, you're just demanding quality. I don't give a shit what the hell's on the cover of the album. I want music. Take Mercure's Amelie Brun, who just this month received so many death threats and hate emails that she had to lock down her band's private messages. Her crime? Possession of ovaries while playing music dominated by blokes.
No, that's not her. That's not her crime. Okay. Now I'm not. I even enjoy her album. I'll admit it. It's not great, but whatever. I listen to it. That's not her crime. Her crime is the way she was promoted by Relapse as the next best thing in black metal, as the new wave in black metal. There was also part of the thing is because she is a musician from outside of black metal. The third thing is because the band was secret. Nobody knew who was behind it. And then, but I do have to say, Jim, I know you're going to say, well, why'd you lock down your hate, messages? It's annoying having the thing beeping and all you get was people threatening to kill you. I know because after the Pantera thing, I needed to just not be on Facebook for a while. Not because I was scared, but I just got annoyed because all I heard was brung, 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 and all it was, angry Pantera fans making, death threats at me. So I get why she did that. Because it's just
muting shit's fine. It's the fact they're making such a big deal of it because fucking everyone gets fucking death threats.
Yeah, I know, but the people giving your death threats are fucking stupid anyway. I mean, you could always just ignore the musician. You can always just ignore the musician. The one band whose name starts with an L, who I refuse to mention, deserves all the death threats they get, though.
Of course, the focus here is
because
she has ovaries, and how many bands with females in it did we promote since we've been doing this?
I'll just say this name again: Darken, Nocturne, Slaughter Cult.
And I'll say Darketta. We'll say
Funerus. Coven's metal. I don't give a shit.
There.
Funerus, Coven, fucking everything. Girl School. But anyway, continue. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's retarded.
Mm-hmm. Of course, Merc here are dealing with a fringe of misogynists and creeps. To which I say, maybe, but why are you trying to make that sound like it's anything new?
They're dealing with the fringe of people with too much time on their hands who don't realize that the big enemy to metal in general isn't O'Malley. She's doing what she loves, and whether you like it or not, I don't give a shit. The true enemy of black metal is Hunt fucking Hendrix and his manifesto, which actually gave me nightmares the other day. Did I tell you about this?
No, please tell me about your nightmares.
I actually had a dream that I was in this fucking cavernous cave, and all around me, I would go to this one door, and people were talking about the death of, what did he call it? Something black metal and the arrival of this, and how liturgy is the basis of anti-barbarism and creating negative. But it was all around me, like I couldn't get out. It was
fuck.
That was an awful dream too. I don't, because it was actual quotes. By the way, they were all in your voice.
All in my voice. Oh shit.
So yeah, I would go into this one and the death of blah 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 black metal and the arrival and the zenith of the spirit. Go into the other. Liturgy is beyond. Yeah, it was. I actually didn't really care for that dream. So yes, Hunt actually gave me nightmares. Hunter or whatever his name. Yeah, Hunter.
But this backlash is also about Brune's disregard for the rules of Scando black metal. To which I say, then why does she sound like a clone of so many others?
Yeah.
If she's ditching the rules, then she would sound like something different.
Well, I don't call her black metal. I call her melodic metal with some black, because she doesn't really do that much black shit, really. But
I only heard 2 tracks. What I heard was like clones of shit I'd heard before.
Oh yeah, no, you could definitely tell the influences. By far, you can definitely tell the influences. Yeah, breaking the rules I guess because she's some sort of rock musician playing black metal. I guess that's breaking the rules. Even though the guy from Entomb was in a rock band called the Helicopters, which were meh.
Just, I still don't get how you're saying breaking the rules. It's not breaking any real rules I know of. But
Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
Her look is understated. Her melodic style closer to Bjork than Burzum.
Yeah, like I said, I don't really consider that black metal. I consider her kind of black metal-ish, but more like melodic type metal, which I think if she were to ditch black metal and go into straight up kind of melodic metal with her vocals, I think it honestly could be much better than what it is, because she's not that. I don't want to say she's not good at black metal. She's okay, but nothing special. And let's be honest here. The black metal field, the metal is crowded. You have to be a little more than just okay, because if you're okay, I could go listen to Dark Throne or go listen to Mayhem, or you have to be a little more than okay. So I think she should ditch the raspy shit and go on straightforward fucking melodic metal. I think that would actually be interesting.
Oh well.
That's my opinion.
My whole thing is it was just mediocrity, and I was like, okay, whatever. And just shrugged it off.
I don't hate it, though.
I don't hate it.
I think a lot of the death threats are wasting your time. There's a lot of bands I do hate. I mean, there's actual bands that I legitimately hate with a passion, and that, but she's not really one of them. I mean, fuck, I might be going to see her live with Behemoth.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Hey, maybe it's fun. I don't know. Maybe she puts on a good live show. You never fucking know.
Yeah. And hey, she didn't even break them by that much. She wears a lot of black, runs around in force, and in her photos has the faraway look of someone thinking about a dead pet. Seems pretty true to me, lads. Spelled true, spelled with a V. God.
Yeah, well, yeah, kind of making fun of it. Yeah, whatever. I don't have any comment on that. Whatever.
There's great comfort in homogeneity. We feel like we belong because we wear the same clothes, like the same things.
Yes, it's called the general public, and I removed myself from the general public at a very early age.
And how many times have we shit on each other's bands? It's not even
Baby
a state
metal,
of liking.
faggot.
Huh?
Baby metal.
Yeah, go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, we make fun of each other all the time. I personally enjoy making fun of you for your shit bands.
I can't even name your bands because I just list. There's fuck. This is just like, what the fuck?
Whatever.
That one was just drums. Then there was another. It was noise, but it wasn't even the good kind of noise. It was just like.
It was Broadquin that was just drums, and I admit that album was badly mixed. They actually mixed the other two albums much better. I'll even tell you that album was badly mixed. I posted it randomly because I was trying to show Scott something. The noise one, it might have been anal cunt, but it might just as well be something anarcho.
No, I know anal cunt. I was saying there's the good noise, and then there was this shit.
There's probably some brutal death metal that I don't know. Either that or something Anarcha posted.
Maybe it was something Anarcha posted.
Because Anarcha posts shit like Sonic Youth and shit that I...
Oh, God.
And then there's my goth and power metal faggotry.
My head still hurts. It's like, yay, you should just give it a try, and you're not giving it a try because you're closed-minded. It's like, no, I gave it a try when I first heard the shit back in the 90s.
All right, I'm back. I'm back. What subgenre are we talking about?
And I'll even admit that I have guilty fucking pleasures in music, and I'll even admit that, some of my music is like lame and dorky. I like it. So, but I enjoy
I don't understand why people claim to have guilty pleasures, because just admit that you like it. There shouldn't be shame in admitting to like certain artists.
Yes, there should be, and it should be fun to shame others' friends for liking music, and they should shame right back.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do all the time. We rip on each other for music, and we enjoy it, and then we talk about music we love, and then we talk,
Yeah, it's not all about sharing the same thing. It's about having some deviance.
He's made fun of shit that I like all the time.
The way I see it, music shaming is kind of a douchebaggy thing. It's like up there with kink shaming and things that you don't do.
I enjoy shaming kinks. I like saying people are weird for liking shit, and I'm weird for liking shit. If you don't admit that you're weird for liking shit, then you're a fucking moron. Everyone's weird for liking their own thing, and I'm free to say, whoa, dude, you like feet? That's kind of weird, eh?
Actually, it's interesting. So I'm not into feet myself, but that one has been scientifically explained.
But I don't care if it's been time. I mean, but I still have the right to go, that's kind of strange. I mean, I'm not going to say you can't. See, no one is telling you. See, the thing about music shaming is no one is telling you you're forbidden to like this kind of music. We may laugh at you for liking it, like you like Dream Theater, prog. But I'm not telling you can't listen to the music.
I mean, people just seem to confuse that fucking point. It's like, yeah, I think your music's shit, but you know.
But shaming for me is when you try to make someone feel like they're a bad person for liking the music.
You're
I'm
a
not
bad
sure
person
I'd call it
for existing.
Well, yeah, but still.
But no, I don't see. I don't care what people say. Like people say that I'm a bad person for liking death metal, and I say, why am I? See, I don't get all butthurt. I go, why am I talking?
You see,
to
it's like people like you are the reason I need death metal.
Well, it's just like, why am I talking to you? But other people start complaining. I'm just like, why do you listen to them? Why do you listen to these people when they tell you that? Are you that insecure? Maybe if you are, maybe you need to be beaten up a little bit.
In both the music and the sex world, I'm proud of what I'm into.
Maybe you need to be stabbed with an axe about 50 times in the head.
Or with a knife 23 times in the back.
That's always fun.
You see his
self-defense.
This picture showing right now, that nose right there, that's been broken quite a few times. I've had my ass handed to me more times than I can count.
Well,
I turned out just fine.
I got into a bit of a... How much more in the story do we have to go?
Let's see here. We're almost done. We only got like 4 more paragraphs.
Okay, let's really quick finish the story, dissect it, and then I will get on to my second part, which is Nazi punk.
Yay. There has to be a limit, though. Nobody sent death threats when Paul Simon went reggae, did they? I think
if I had the technology, I would. Just because fuck Paul Simon.
I heard a lot of people wanting to stab him. I mean,
what's wrong with Paul Simon?
He went reggae, and I remember hearing lots of people wanting to stab him.
I remember a lot of the people I've heard a lot of people in the militant black community fucking hated it.
Yeah, they wanted to stab him too for different reasons.
Anyway, continue your.
And if you'll let me rip the plaster off in one go, there's virtually no metal touchstone that remains beyond the farce in broader culture anyway.
Whatever.
I don't care what the fuck other people think.
Motorhead what?
Motorhead tees for sale in Topshop are now a cliche of their own. Zayn Malik is covered in tats. People throw people throw the devil horns in car insurance ads. My chrome bullet belt is the coolest thing in my wardrobe, but it's also part of Stockbroker's Metal Dude Halloween costume. Revere it all you like, someone else will be vomiting Tanqueray all over one and leaving it in the back of an Uber on any given Friday.
I'll admit that metal has been, but I don't care. And by the way, not every part of the devil horns, because nobody knows who actually created the devil horns. Who created the devil horns? Who was the first person to do the devil horns in music?
Dio, right?
No. Jim knows.
Fuck, no, I don't. I can't think.
Jinx Dawson.
Okay,
Who?
that's...
Who?
Jinx Dawson of Coven. That was when Dio was still in his fucking rockabilly phase. Have you ever heard Dio do rockabilly? It is interesting. Not as interesting as Ian Stewart doing a homage to the Ku Klux Klan while doing rockabilly, which the KKK hated back in the 50s, but that is actually quite funny. Are we done with the thing?
Almost.
Okay, go.
It's down to each of us in our own small way to fight this trend towards stagnation. Which means, I say demand quality, but this guy thinks it's all about aesthetics, apparently.
He might be taking the piss because, like I said, he's in a fucking... He's in a band that pretty much epitomizes, I've heard this before somewhere.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to music that's only about aesthetics, listen to fucking Vaporwave. As a Vaporwave fan, I feel that I have the right to say that.
Well, I don't...
You'd have the right to say that even if you weren't. I don't give a shit. I never heard the shit. I don't think I want to by the sounds of it.
No.
You know how some things are like just so bad that like it comes to the point where they become ironically good, and then the point where on top of that it becomes unironically good?
No, because I don't listen to shit for irony's sake.
So,
Yeah,
Vaporwave is basically slowed down 80s elevator music with funk beats in the background.
Maybe if I was on acid. But, okay, the whole thing about...
Well, that is the point.
That's caused a fucking wretch. No, I want to fucking stab the person that invented that now.
Okay, that's the thing. I have to make a little speech about ironically good. I don't believe in things being ironically good. I thoroughly enjoy anal cunt. Someone's watching TV really loud or someone's yelling at someone.
Not me.
Is Shane still here?
Is he? I don't know.
He hasn't said anything for a while.
He never does. He never
Mute
says
him.
anything. I think that's...
Mute him, and Shane, if you want to say anything, unmute yourself. Because your thing's kind of loud, dude. Not trying to be a dick, but...
There's also an echo from someone, and I know it's not me because I'm using headphones.
It's Jim's.
No,
Okay.
I got headphones on.
It's always from you, Jim.
It usually is, but only when my girlfriend's on.
No, like I can hear myself from on your thing most of the time. But it's not very big though. But anyway, I thoroughly enjoy Plane 9 from Outer Space. Yes, it's bad, but there's something awesome about it. It's not ironically good. I actually enjoy that movie. I enjoy really bad horror movies for not ironic reasons, but for fucking wow, someone put their heart and soul into this and it's shit. That's awesome.
Cheesy B movies are fucking awesome.
And yeah.
Saw this one called Motel Hell.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Motel Hell is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Plant them.
I think my mother's still scared of that movie.
I don't watch movies, so I'm not familiar.
It's pretty much this guy runs this motel and he traps people by making them get in car wrecks or force them to stay at his motel. Then he cuts out their vocal cords so they can't talk, and then he plants them in the ground for a while. Then after they've been in the ground for a while, he takes them up and puts them into beef jerky.
Sausages, too. His award-winning sausages. Yes, I love
So the
Motel
secret
Hell.
ingredient is people, and it's so fucking cheesy, it's fucking hilarious.
I love that band. That band that was in Motel Hell. That was awesome. But the thing about it, like, I legitimately love Anal Cunt. I think they're awesome. So yeah, I don't listen to anything that for irony's sake. Nothing becomes ironically good. It's either good for whatever reason or it's bad for whatever reason. But the thing is, I don't listen to music for aesthetic purpose. I listen to music to listen to music.
Yeah.
But this guy might be taking the piss because, like I said, he's in a band that if you've heard the, I'll send you a Gamma Bomb thing, Jim. It's not bad.
No, they got a link here. I'll check it out later.
It's just you're gonna be like, I've heard this before.
Probably.
But now move on to our next topic, and Paul's gonna probably shit his pants.
Hold on a sec.
Is this
We're
Nazi
almost
punks?
done. We still got 2 paragraphs.
Oh God, I really don't want to. Go. Read now. No interruptions.
We have to encourage the green shoots that will grow up new superstars. Let's be delighted when Mastodon reference hip-hop in their music videos, though being tasteful is another matter. When a pop singer turns up in a Maiden tee, let's appreciate that kids might discover a classic band. No, let's call them fucking posers.
I know what I'd do when there was a cheerleader who wore an Iron Maiden T-shirt. Someone pointed it out to me, and I said, "Hey, cool, I love Iron Maiden. What's your favorite song?" I don't really like the music. I just know I just like the T-shirt. I don't really even know this Iron Maiden's a band. I just knew that it was a cool T-shirt. Oh my God! Have you ever felt the urge to kill someone?
I did. I was at this one booth. It was at the fucking carnival, and you get to throw like darts at posters, and you win the poster. And these kids were trying to win the fucking Iron Maiden poster. They didn't know fucking Bruce Dickinson.
Yikes! Oh, and by the way, I hate Mastodon, so yeah. I saw them live. They were meh.
Okay, let's continue. To flourish, metal needs to be served with a pinch of salt and a healthy disregard for convention. Remember, Sabbath were obsessed with jazz. For a time, Queen identified as a heavy metal band. Twisted Sister played punk and drag. Happy Accidents that ignored the rules.
Twisted Sister did not play punk. If you say that Twisted Sister played punk to me, you will walk away with at least 3 of your limbs missing.
Well, he just did, so he deserves 3 limbs missing.
All right, got it. Never play California.
What can we do about it? Let's start by shouting down keyboard warriors who take exception to bands experimenting with their genre rules, or, heaven forbid, courting mainstream popularity.
But I don't care. I don't want metal to be mainstream. I'll be honest, the type of metal I like will never be mainstream. Jim's heard the type of metal I like. He doesn't even like it because he says it's too drummy.
Well, there's some shit I like. Just there's a lot of shit that's shit.
That really brutal shit I post. That will never be mainstream.
You're right. That'll never be mainstream, and that's
that will
good.
Never, ever be mainstream.
Next time a young woman comes along and dares to break the rules in style, let's be there throwing the horns, not brickbats.
All right, but I reserve the right to question her motives, just like I have the question to question anyone's motives when they start a band. I mean, I'll be honest. I used to bash O'Malley till I realized, okay, she's actually kind of into black metal, whatever. And her music isn't that bad. But at first I thought, because she was a pop singer.
This is Booker we're talking, sorry?
Yeah. And she was a pop singer, rock, whatever. So I thought, okay, she's only doing this. But she actually does kind of like black metal, and whatever. I wish her the best of luck in the future. And I might go see her live with Behemoth, and, you know. But as far as other bands, I still remain skeptical to most bands when they fucking form. Okay, are you in this because you like? Well, let me hear the band first. Let me hear the band first. Okay, this is kind of generic, you know. Oh, especially if someone crosses over. Like, I'm sorry, if a pop singer decides to play metal, I'm going to question their motives.
Yeah, really.
Well, here's my thing with Mirker. It's that she pretends to be cult. First of all, the whole concept of cult is just 20 years outdated now. But it's that she acts like she's part of the scene, which she's not. I don't even mind the music that much. I actually think the music is fairly nice if you can get it in the right mood.
Yeah, I have the shit on.
Most of the time I hate it, but
I don't hate it. I have it on there, and I'll listen to it if it comes on. It really does. But It's enjoyable. Whatever. I don't give a shit. But
But she just became-
that is something that I brought up. You were gone, but I did bring up the fact that, yeah, there was this whole stink about how they were this cult band, and Relapse was promoting them. Relapse, the formerly respectable label Relapse, was promoting her as the next big thing in black metal. If they just promoted her, what?
With that said, I am like flat out. So you have to consider that so much of the criticism she gets is just flat out sexist.
I don't know, because there's bands like Dark and Nocturne Slaughter Cult who don't get criticized like that.
Yes, but Mirror gets legitimate rape threats.
Yeah, I get rape threats.
So do I.
Doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah, but you've got to be mostly. See, okay, I get why she turned off her messages, because there was the Dimebag Darrell Nuclear Hellfrost thing last year. And of course, I chimed in, writing, fuck Dimebag Darrell. I guess
Pantera is awful, to be fair.
I guess he's, they're okay. I guess he's Dirt Nap Darrell. The only thing Dimebag Darrell ever did was die. Tactful, tasteful shit like that. Oh my God, I had to turn Facebook off for a while, because I was trying to talk to my friends, but all it was boom, 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 boom. And it was just these illiterate Pantera nobos. So I had to turn Facebook off for a while, because it's just like, I freely admit I deserve it, but I thought it was hilarious until I got death threats till about July.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I still get death threats for having used the word bitch when I was rating Emo Stylish World.
Oh, you cunt.
What's wrong with that?
Emo Stylish World.
Rating.
I'd rate that about negative 25,000. And I'd
No.
say who?
RAID.
Oh, rating. I think you said rating.
No.
Oh, God. I got banned from the Defend Pop Punk group about 3 seconds into it by posting Nazi punk. So which brings me on to my next topic. Jim, if you have another article, do it later in a minute, but Nazi music.
Yeah.
Thing is that I don't really like punk.
Jim,
I don't object to it, but
they're after our precious bodily fluids.
Okay.
I get shit for liking punk rock and black metal. Let's go ahead and say it. I have a fair bit of NSBM on my iPod. By a fair
I don't
bit.
even believe NSBM is a genre. It doesn't have any musical characteristics. It's exactly the same, just with different lyrics.
Sometimes not even with really different lyrics. Sometimes it's, but I have to call it NSBM just to differentiate it from whatever. I have a fair bit of black metal on my iPod with those kind of lyrics. And some punk too. Not that much, because most RAC is boring as hell. As
RAC?
Jim knows, Rock Against Communism. As Jim knows all too well.
Especially being a communist myself.
Well, whatever. I'm not a communist, but Rock Against Communism is a keyword for what's it a keyword for, Jim?
People typically use it synonymously with white supremacist movements.
White power rock. Yeah, it's because there was a Rock Against Racism show, and they couldn't really call it Rock for Racism because that would be a little too obvious, so they call it Rock Against Communism, which is retarded, but whatever. Anyway, I like some of them. I like Screwdriver and Bound for Glory, and that's about it.
Do you like
what?
Jew Driver? It's an all Jewish Screwdriver cover band.
That's kind of funny, but I'm guessing they suck at their music.
No, it's not. It's not like most punk takes any talent anyway.
Yeah, but that's kind of funny, but whatever. Ha 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 ha. But I like Screwdriver, and I like Bound for Glory, and I like a fair bit of NSBM. And I sent some guy Dark Fury, the band Dark Fury, because he wanted to know about black metal without even thinking. And he posted this long rant about how I'm horrible because I'm supporting Nazis. It's like, dude, I sent you a fucking YouTube link. People are very tightly wound about, and I'll be the first to admit I don't agree with any of what they have to say about most things. But if it's decent music, I'm gonna fucking listen to it. I love Burzum. I mean, I agree with what Jim said about Bound for Glory. Drinking music.
It's good shit.
It makes.
See, back in the day, whenever my friends were into that fucking Nazi shit, we would get in the fucking lengthy debates for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 point, counterpoint, fucking crazy shit. Half the time, wasted off our asses. But, I never once bought into their bullshit, but whenever they popped in good music, which was like 3 bands,
yeah,
it was good music. The rest of the shit was just like, oh, this is another Screwdriver clone and another Screwdriver clone, and they're failing. And God, that's why I can't listen to fucking Screwdriver that much anymore, because it brings back the memories of all the bands that attempted to clone them and just throw more white power everywhere. It's like, fuck, can you do anything else?
Oh, someone just left.
Okay.
Paul and Shane left. But yeah, the thing about it is the Nazis really don't have very good taste in music. But yeah, the whole thing is I knew some. I won't call them white I'll call them white nationalist friends, people, and they knew I wasn't going to ever be a convert. Hell, I dated black girls and shit, so they respected that. We get into debates. Okay, now you have another article. We kind of talked about that to death.
Yeah, it's just people being whiny bitches.
See, the problem isn't Paul or Shane. It's the problem. I mean, they do say some annoying things. The problem is it was like 8 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get 1 or 2 of them, yeah, okay. It's granted they say some kind of annoying hipstery things, but at the same time, whatever. But yeah, it's when you get like 8 of them and they're hogging up the show.
Get a fucking word in edgewise.
Yes. See that was the problem, wasn't that? And besides Christmas, I was in such a shit mood because I had just woken up from a fucking aborted sleep, so I was not in the mood to fucking take anything.
It's funny they left the group whenever we were talking about Nazi rock.
I think they'll come back, man. I don't know. I don't care. Whatever.
I'm just having fun making fun. Shut up.
You're kind of the de facto. Yeah, I know. You're kind of the de facto co-host now, unfortunately.
Yay, de facto.
Anyway, next article.
And while we're on the topic of racism, I sometimes don't want to be white either.
I don't want to say I don't want to be white. There's been some times where I thought I should have been born in Europe, but I can't say I wouldn't want to be white. Why does this person not want to be white?
Rachel Dolezal is a fascinating case study in white racial identity development. Asterisk, I guess that's something mentioned later. She is stuck in the immersion stage. Literally, that's IMMERSION and EMERSION. Immersion. Fuck my Pennsylvania accent. Immersion.
Oh, that's great. Immersion.
Stage in which white people, having learned extensively about realities of racism, an ugly history of white supremacy in the U.S., immerse themselves in trying to figure out how to be white in our society and emerge with a new relationship to whiteness. Only in the case of Dolezal, her way of dealing with the pain and reality of racism was to deny her own whiteness and to become black. I think she's that bitch that said she was black and was in charge of the NAACP or something.
I don't need to face the pain of racism because I understand it exists. I've come to terms with the fact that it exists. And yes, I'm going to keep trying to fight it, but at the same time, I will be the first to admit we'll never truly get rid of racism because even if we manage to get it, less, you'll still have idiots out there.
Mm-hmm.
If we were all white, okay, or if we were all black, whatever, if we were all one color, there would be someone going, I'm whiter than you are, though, because I just am. So it's all bullshit, really. I mean, you get fucking that in separate communities. How many people have said, well, we're whiter than you are because we're British, or we're Scandinavian, or we're German, and you're fucking Dutch, or,
Yeah, and no, let's not forget one of the things I loved hearing my friends say. He is the whitest black guy I've ever known. That's pretty white of him.
But let's continue with this, and I'll probably...
She is an extreme example of a common phenomenon. Please tell me it's not common. Unfortunately, I think it is, judging by the internet. The immersion stage is typified by white people taking more responsibility for racism and privilege. What privilege did I have when I was homeless, you fuckers?
Yeah, exactly.
And often experiencing high levels of anger and embarrassment for racism and privilege. God, I hate when they do this.
See, I don't identify as white because I don't fucking care. It wasn't my fucking choice to be white. It wasn't my choice to be from California. It wasn't my choice to be American. Consequently, these are things I'm not proud of. I'm proud of this show because it was my choice to do this show. I don't give a flying fucking cunt shit, which would be awesome if someone shitting from their cunt and flying, about like a baby, a flying shit baby, about races, or not about race, about race, or about what skin color you are.
That makes me wish I was a shit baby now. Which they sometimes direct towards other whites. They sometimes try to immerse themselves in communities of color, as that bitch did, and she's not alone. I have trouble with that name, so I'm just going to refer to her as a bitch.
I never gave a shit because my neighborhood was always fucking multicultural, and I live in Los Angeles. If you know nothing about Los Angeles, you at least know it's very multicultural.
Yeah, and even in my area where it's majority white, we had a few black families in, and most of them treated me cool.
But
it was the younger brood that was bullying my friends that turned them into fucking shit. Most of the people that bullied me in high school were white. And in fact, all of them were white that bullied me. The ones that bullied my friends were almost entirely black. So thus they became racist, and I didn't. On top of that, there was also the fact that two of my counselors, whenever I was fucking in the loony bin and in the partial program, were black, and they were actually trying to fucking fight for me whenever doctors were trying to screw me over.
I mean, I was, because like I said, I live in LA, and so I was probably one of the only white kids in high school. I never felt fucking out of place or fucking, oh, I don't belong. I was just like, okay, whatever, fuck it. I never even thought about it. It was just, it was just, I never cared. So anyway.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys. My computer accidentally got unplugged.
That's always fun.
Yes, it is.
It's fairly old, so it took a while for me to reboot.
No, it took me 2 hours to reboot last time. By that time, the show had ended.
Because the host was dead.
But we're talking about people who don't want to be white anymore.
We're talking about white guilt and the manifestation thereof.
Yeah.
Even the biggest SJWs I know think that white guilt is fucking stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry that racism exists. I don't like it to exist, but you know why I don't take responsibility for racism? You want to know why I don't take responsibility for racism, Jim?
Because you literally can't see color?
Because I'm not a fucking racist. I'm not related to them. Now, if my cousin, well, my cousin is, but never mind. But if someone I was close to in my family was beating up black kids, maybe then I would take some responsibility for it. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not doing anything about it, but I would definitely feel guilty about it because they're fucking my family and I was close to them. But the fact is that's not happening. I mean, I hate that it's happening, but and by the way, guys, white people aren't the only ones who can be racist.
Yes, we know this. Okay.
See, new Black Panther Party for explanation. Anyway, continue.
It's different than the old, I know. Anyway, I definitely experienced this. There was a time in my 20s when everything I learned about history of racism made me hate myself, my whiteness, my ancestors, and my descendants. I remember deciding that I couldn't have biological children because I didn't want to propagate my privilege biologically.
See, I read about it, and I mean, I read about how men fucking oppressed women and wouldn't let them vote till 1920. Did it make me hate myself for being a man? No, it made me hate the scumbags who did that, but I don't fucking relate to them because I'm not fucking them. I don't relate to fucking slave traders because guess what? I'm not a slave trader.
You still have benefited from their actions by being white, though.
Okay.
How did I benefit by being homeless?
The question is, would a black person in the exact same circumstances as you have had a rougher time?
No, they had easier access to the shelters.
They would have had about the same thing as me. And by the way, if you say I got privilege because I was blind, you've never lived in my world. They had about the same fucking life as I did. I mean, it was...
I never said you got privilege because you're blind.
No, but people do. A lot of people do.
No, it's bullshit. So first of all, before we continue, do you believe in white privilege?
Depends on the area.
Because I do believe in white privilege, for the record. I do believe in white privilege. I do identify as a feminist and stuff like that. Not the Tumblr kind.
Yeah, I used to identify as a feminist until I saw that, and now I identify as being for women's rights. But yeah, people do kind of judge you if you. But I think it depends on the place. I think it depends on the place, the time, and if you accept it. If you fucking accept. I mean, there's. I don't know. There's a whole thing about white privilege that I'm.
See, I had a roadside cavity search whenever I fucking sobered up and tried getting my life fucking straight. I'd like to. I haven't heard of any blacks complaining about that in my area. I've heard them complain about it in other areas, but it all depends. But for me, it was all about my fucking name, and people knew I fucking sold drugs whenever I was younger. So whenever I fucking cleaned up the act, it was fucking, this is what was gonna fucking happen to me. Because they were suspecting me flying way low on the radar. Whenever here, I just flat out quit,
I think it also depends on what. How do I word this? What fucking. Who you were as a kid, and like you said, selling drugs and shit is different than a straight normal life. I mean. You could probably look right now where police shot white people to death, just as they shoot everyone else. But I think white privilege exists. It just depends on where you go. I mean, if you go to fucking Alabama, probably.
Oh yeah, there's probably a good bit there.
There are huge issues with police shooting black people to death. Like Tamir Rice, he was literally holding a toy gun.
And
in a state where it was legal to be a gun owner in the first place and open carry.
Yeah, but Paul, I've heard stories about that happening to people with every color. People waving toy guns and getting shot.
White kid was shot to death by a fucking cop for holding a Wii remote, which looks nothing like a gun. It was just he answered the door whenever the cops came to get his dad on a bench warrant, and the fucking cop said, "Oh my God," fucking shot him.
Because cops are very trigger happy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think there's some cops that may shoot people of a different skin color first? Probably, but you're always going to have that in every society. You can't, because even if they do it unconsciously. So I'll admit that may happen. And I know it's happened.
I know that does happen.
Yes. Yes.
And there's also the fact that you got way too trigger-happy cops these days.
No
fucking
shit.
Even more so than fucking back in the day whenever...
It's not even entirely about being trigger-happy, because cops are trained to shoot to kill in the U.S. In other countries, they're trained to like shoot in the leg to get a guy down, even if he's not holding a weapon or anything.
Did you hear about the guy in Pennsylvania, Jim, who he opened the door, got his gun, the cop shot and killed a kid?
I didn't hear that story.
Yeah.
I live here. I should have. Oh, well.
So a guy, I guess he was familiar to the. I don't remember what the fucking charge was. I don't remember, but he knocked on the door. The cop said, "Hi, blah blah blah." The guy went out, got his gun, and the cop shot and killed his kid. Now, what would have happened if he just shot to wound, or if he just, my dad's all for the cop. And I'm saying he should have shot to wound or something to the,
Yeah, it's just a fucking huge clusterfuck, and the whole thing breaks down. You always got your fucking assholes that are going to be fucking racist pricks, and you also got your fucking panicky, trigger-happy people. You got fucking... And people try to make everything just huge, cut and dry, looking at one statistic or another.
So yeah, about white privilege. I'm not one of these people who will deny white privilege anywhere. I believe it exists, but it also depends on where you go. In LA, it's fuck. Not to pry, but where do you live, Paul? Like what state?
Madison, Wisconsin. You can ask me literally any detail about my life, and I'll probably answer.
No, just because people,
No, Madison, Wisconsin, which coincidentally has the highest achievement gap in public school system in the entire country.
Madison, Wisconsin. No, it was Madison, Illinois. That was the gateway racetrack.
The statistics say Madison, Wisconsin.
No. I was talking about racing, not school. Because you said Madison, I was thinking, oh, there's a racetrack there, but it was actually Madison, Illinois.
Is that something that you follow, or?
I am a huge, diehard fucking Jim knows.
Yeah, he'll talk racing for 6 hours. You get the right mood.
You get the right person. Jim's.
I sit there and tolerate it. Whenever he shows me something that's like interesting, which is usually wrecks for me, I like to watch him crash.
Jim, we did this one PTR where no one was on there, but me and this guy Simon, we literally spent 2.5 hours talking about Formula One. So, yeah.
I'm a tabletop game nerd, and I actually recently picked up a game called Cthulhu 500, which is like basically racing, except you have Cthulhu on your side.
That's awesome. We're playing Pathfinder.
Good choice. I'm a 3.5 guy, so pretty much same game with differences that people will endlessly argue over. But no, Pathfinder's a good one.
Yeah, there are differences. I fucking walked into it straight from 3.5. I was like, oh, wait, that's changed, and it's all minor shit, but it, like, bogs you down whenever you're trying to think in your head, okay, how does this work now?
We're doing a test run, and I'm playing Valorous. Boy, did I fuck him up the ass.
Yeah, he was supposed to be neutral good. He went straight for chaotic evil. I mean, he was stunted at fucking chaotic neutral after killing a couple kids.
I hate people that can't fucking play their own alignment correctly.
But you see, this was a pre-gen character. He had no say in it. So if he had say in it, he would have started him off as chaotic evil.
Yeah,
I'm a role player big time. Like when I'm a DM most of the time, and it really pisses me off when people try to make the game entirely about combat, because there are times when I will go like an entire session without even putting in any combat.
We're subtle. We've actually learned how to kind of be subtle, because for the first game,
You've
it was
learned
like,
how to be subtle.
when I say we, I mean me and, well, I don't know if Jim's girlfriend has.
My girlfriend has never played before.
Yeah.
This is her first time, just as
But-
it's your first time.
The thing is, though, because the first year was, kill a goblin, kill. But now we're starting to get into the town, and I'm like, I'm not sure if this guy is really worth killing. Because, I mean, yeah, we do burn down things because, let's face it, I'm a sociopath. So I enjoy fucking. But yes, I did not start as neutral good. I was supposed to, or I did not want to start neutral. I was supposed to save the city. I guess I was like 2 rooms away from it. And I was like, I'm bored.
You're 2 rooms away, and then you went back to town to sell your shit. And then you got pissed off the shopkeeper because something cost 2,000 gold. And you're like, I can't afford that, so you killed the shopkeeper. And started looting the place, killed his kid for being a witness, killed...
A bystander.
Set the bystander on fire while they're dying, clutching at their fucking trachea.
And then we killed a bunch of goblins, killed 3 kids. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So, for me, my main issue with D&D is that, again, it's simply too combat based in my opinion, and I like pure intrigue campaigns. Also, I hate it when people call me Dungeon Master. Like, I absolutely hate it.
I just call him Jim. I don't give a shit.
You see, for me,
No.
it's because I'm a dom, and that just gives me the exact wrong imagery I want.
No. I call him the voice in my head. Cause there's, but I mean I'm all into role playing, but I'm much more. I'm not one of those people who like I like to. It's not just about combat for me. I like to go to town and shit and do, but I'm about role playing. But why would I want to save the world? I want to go completely ape shit and do all the things I can't do in real life, like set an abortion clinic on fire. Even though I have no problem with abortion, but hey, still, why not set it on
Abortion
fire?
is literally population control.
Yeah, but he wanted to get torch pregnant women that were having the operation.
Yes.
He also torched the poisoners out.
Oh yeah. Well, actually,
Death cloud.
yes, we actually did do some population control there.
So speaking of which, do you agree that Descendant into Depravity is the best Dying Fetus album?
No, it's a decent one. It's the first one I heard.
For me, it's like, while it holds up total and the rest, it honestly comes down to the fact that both Your Treachery and Will Die With You and Shepherd's Commandment are 2 of my favorite death metal songs ever made.
Well, see, it's the first one I heard, so it holds a soft spot for me. But it's decent. I listen to it. But the thing about I know I'm stalling to get back to the thing, but it's just I really don't want to.
Well, I mean, is there a reason we can't change agendas?
Well, I like getting through topics, especially because I'm actually trying to cultivate viewers and shit. And
You want to
cultivate
talk
my-
about saving the bees?
No, and cultivate my semen. But yeah, we set an abortionist on fire. We set a poison smith on fire.
Mm-hmm. And the poison smith out the fallout from the poison smith. I got to go over at the beginning of the next session because that was too many variables for me to think of on the spot, and I was dead tired.
Yes, I know you are.
Fuck, I didn't even give you proper loot.
Yes, I know. You have to make it up to us. We kill at least 30 people, that he said.
Yeah, at least 30 from the fire brigade, and a couple of surrounding residences that wouldn't have escaped in time. The town still thinks they're heroes for helping them out with the goblin horde, but...
Yes. So, but yeah, that's how we play. We basically play to destroy, loot, pillage. Because basically, I'm a metalhead. Anyway, I guess you can continue with the story.
If I was going to pass on my privilege, I'd want to pass it on to someone who doesn't have racial privilege. So I planned to adopt. I disliked my whiteness, but I disliked the whiteness of other people more. I felt like the way to really end racism was to feel guilty for it, and to make other white people feel guilty for it too. And then, like...
Anger rising.
And then, like Dozell, I wanted to take on Africanness. Living in South Africa during my junior year abroad, I lived with a black family, wore my head in wraps, shaved my head. I didn't want to be white, but if I had to be, I wanted to be white in a way that I was different from other white people I knew.
So basically putting on a facade because you feel guilty because people you don't know, people who... Fuck.
Yeah.
People you never fucking met. They're in your bloodline, but so's fucking people who were again. Oh, Satan, please help me. Oh, fuck. I have racists in my fucking bloodline from Texas. That doesn't affect me because I'm fucking my own person. Fuck. That's no bad thoughts.
See, I got most of Europe running in my veins, plus about I think 1/16 Native American.
God.
Then my kids got a decent chunk of Africa and a little Arabic in them.
I mean, and none of my friends care that I'm white or whatever. None of my fucking relationship partners, whatever the fuck you want to call them, girlfriends, have cared because they're all forward-thinking, responsible people.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's just
the way to end racism isn't to feel guilty about it. The way to end racism is to start thinking there's no fucking difference between me and that one guy just because his skin's a different color. I mean, oh fuck.
Yeah, I know.
That even when I was a hardcore liberal, like, I mean, I'm still liberal, but even when I was like hardcore far left, fucking hippy dippy, although I never quite went vegetarian, but even when I was, that annoying, even I would call bullshit on that argument.
I gotta pee again, so I'll be back yet again.
I really want to go pee and not hear the rest of this, but I'll stay.
Yes, endure the pain. I wanted to be special. Different white person. The one and only. How very white of me. Beverly Daniel Tatum has written that white people don't choose to identify as white because the categories to choose from are loaded from the start. Traditionally, one can identify as a colorblind white person, a racist white person, or an ignorant white person. Those are the three ways white people get talked about as white. If those are the options, who would choose to identify as white? And so white people identify as normal and Irish and just American and do not self-identify racially. Is it that big of a deal?
Because there's no point. I mean, why does identifying as... like I said, I don't identify because I didn't have a choice. There was nothing when I was in the womb that says, would you like to be white? And then I would take a fucking selection of all the fucking things. No, I want to be No, I didn't choose. I got whatever nature fucking dealt me. You know what? Yes, I'm going to identify as blind. I'm going to identify as blind because I chose to be blind, Jim.
Yay.
Oh, fucking retards. If you just don't make such a big deal about it and don't identify as this, I identify as myself.
It's one of the things that my ex-wife fucking hated was that they were trying to have this black culture that was just this huge umbrella term saying you're supposed to be this, that, the other thing. She's like, but I'm none of that shit. It's just I got black skin color. Ooh,
Yeah, I mean, I've never identified as white culture. I mean, I like Sweden. Does that make me an evil white culture racist? Or does that make me someone who really likes cool music and interesting stories about Vikings? I mean, if an African country had that much cool, that's why I'm not huge on Japan.
See, I like Japan, but does that make me Asian now, or
Yes, because Anarch is Asian, by the way.
No, he's not. Fuck
that kid annoys me.
Yeah. Haven't heard from him lately, which is a blessing.
He made a video. He made a video a couple hours ago about how Facebook is so hard to promote on groups or whatever.
I didn't even pay attention.
I didn't either, but I saw it, and I was just like, I guess. But for me, it's actually quite easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, like I said. I mean, I don't know. I'm not huge on Japan. They're interesting, but Sweden just is more interesting for me because better music.
There are a few things from Russia I like. That doesn't mean I'm Russian anymore. Oh yes, the vodka. Except for Vladimir, I can't take that anymore. Doing a beer bong filled to the brim with it, yeah, not a good...
Go. I mean, there's things from most parts of the world that I enjoy.
And that leaves us with a society in which only people of color have a race, where only people of color seem to be responsible for racialized problems. It makes it hard to feel for all of us to know and tell our racial stories because white people think we don't have any. And it makes it hard for us to own our own history because we don't see it as ours.
As far as I'm concerned, my history began on May 27, 1994, and will end whenever I stop breathing. I mean, I like the history of all the world. I don't care about the history of white people as much as I care. I care about the history because I think of it as different countries. I read about French history, Swedish history, Japanese history. I basically debunked someone's talking about different swords or whatever. I like swords, but they were talking about how great the katana is, and I was like, that's not the best. It's not the only sword that's had the reputation for being the best sword. But so I read and read whatever about the histories of everything. So I don't care about my culture history. I'm an American. I'm sorry. We really have no culture if you think about it, because we're just a mishmash of, someone muted somebody.
Yeah, just because he's got his background going, he's not on screen.
Whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. Fuck.
Yeah, many white people also feel like we don't have culture. This isn't a coincidence. Oh, God.
I have my own culture. I have my own Elliot culture. And
I would argue that stuff like hamburgers and hot dogs are distinctly American culture.
Yeah, but... Yeah,
the South has its own culture. Appalachia has its own culture.
Yeah.
Even if they both involve lynching black people and fucking your sister.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, I have my own culture, Jim. It mainly comprises metal and racing, music and racing. I mean, I never my parents never told me, son, we are going to learn about your ancient past and your forefathers. Because if I did that, I would have said, forefathers, what? My grandfather worked in Texas as a fucking whatever he did.
Yeah, because for me, my life is fairly simple. It's metal, tabletop games, my girlfriend, and communism and saving the environment.
My life is racing, music, my girlfriend, whenever she's around, and some politics and some bashing fucking people I view as idiotic. And, this show. I mean, but one could see that's the culture of the Elliot.
Because, when you work in an environmental office, it's kind of hard to not devote your entire life to protecting the environment.
I devote my entire life to pissing on the environment.
Why?
Because it's fun. Because it's fucking fun. I pissed on a bee today.
We need a planet to keep living as a species. This is not about whether humanity is fucked or not. This is about whether or not we want to have any life left in our entire solar system.
Honestly, Paul, after I die, I don't give a fucking shit. Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, that is where we disagree.
Yeah. You see, you try as hard as you can, and someone else is going to go fuck it up anyway.
Yep.
And we're all going to die and have absolutely no control of what the hell happens after we die.
But continue your story, Jim. I haven't puked yet.
Throughout the 20th century, countless immigrant groups abandoned the artifacts of cultures that racialized them as immigrants. Language, religion, food, styles of speaking, gesticulations, family structures, traditions.
It's called being in a different country. I mean, if you want to hold on to your language and shit like that, I don't really care. I do think you have to learn English. I don't care if it's not the official language. It's a language that a lot of people speak, and it's just kind of common sense. For example, if I was moving to fucking France, I would definitely learn French. If I was taking a trip to Germany or any country, I would have a rudimentary grasp of that language. Because what if you're stopped at night and the only guy who can save you or who can, tell you where to go doesn't know any English? It's not uncommon. So I think it's common sense, and people go, "That's racist." How is it racist saying, "Look, at least be somewhat prepared to fucking deal with a new country"?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. Well, to be honest, I think borders are just arbitrary lines that don't really matter.
Duh. But
I think that if we are going to have borders, it makes sense to learn the language.
If you were going to take a trip to Italy, wouldn't you want to learn a couple phrases in Italian just in case?
As someone who has taken a trip to Italy, while I don't know Italian, I'm fluent in French, so I was able to communicate people by basically piecing together relative languages.
But Jim, if you were taking a trip to European or whatever country, wouldn't you want to learn?
Well, he pretty much just flat out said that he could piece together the language from what he knew of another language. So basically,
I know a couple of Italian words.
That's almost picking up enough of the language to get by.
And if I was going to be really racist, I'd say, well, come on, you got to know some fucking English if you want to work in fast food. Come on, really?
Yeah.
And the people that do heavily push for learning English are people that live in the South who barely speak English in the first place.
And that's just my experiences with people. I go to a fucking fast food place, and even the Americans don't know it. Even the fucking, Californian fucking people with no accent don't know English.
You live in California?
Iced tea. An iced tea is not a high C. Yes, I live in California.
Okay.
That's the thing. I live in a place that I'll put it this way. In LA, there's really no option to be racist. I mean, okay, I guess racism does exist in LA, but if you want to get around this, fucking place, you really don't have a choice in this matter.
Yeah.
It's been that way since the 20s.
Well,
it's been that way.
Aren't there a lot of people that only speak Spanish in LA, though?
Most of them know rudimentary English.
And a full-on Chinatown, right?
And an Armenian thing now. Chinatown's in San Francisco.
We have Albanians in Madison. And Hmong people. Actually, Madison is very culturally diverse.
Chinatown's in San Francisco. We have, I think, Koreatown, which I jokingly call North Koreatown.
Well, is it up north?
I don't know. I'm just being a dick. I always say, okay, hey, you're going to North Koreatown? And they call me an asshole. Because I am. But we have a very diverse population. I've always had diverse groups of friends, so I've never identified as white because I never gave a flying cock. Which is another thing I want, a flying cock.
Yes, everyone wants a flying cock.
You mean like the one that was the cock helicopter that someone threw at Vladimir Putin and flew around him?
No, I mean like a flying penis.
Well, it would be detached. And how would you get a nerve connection? How would you actually feel stuff?
Putin is a flying cock. Anyway, continue.
Wait, Putin can fly?
No.
Probably. He's kind of in charge of a country, so I guess he could just hop a plane whenever he wants.
I still love they had to cancel DTM, which is a German touring car series, qualifying on Moscow because Putin was in the air remotely above the, like, not even really close to the track, but he was in the air sort of close to the track, so the helicopter couldn't fly in case someone crashed and needed medical, fucking assistance. So they had to cancel qualifying. I'm just like, oh, you fucking moron. Anyway, continue with your story.
And this was just not a matter of fitting in. It was about accessing rights that were reserved for white people. Citizenship, land ownership, police protection, legal rights, etc. Which, yeah, that was a dark period in our history. It's something I learned whenever I was a kid.
Also, police protection disappears when you want to enter the counterculture. Continue.
True. The more one could cast off the markers of otherness, the more likely it was that one would become white. And so while the desire to become white is really the opposite of what Rachel had, the process of becoming white that her ancestors undoubtedly went through in the great American star-off machine may be connected to her desire to unwhite.
You do realize there's a Swede reading this and just laughing at us, right? Or a Brit, or a fucking someone just reading this and going, you American fucking idiots, you fucking worry about this fucking problem.
I think I found the original link to this in a British paper that was mocking them, even though they got their own problems with this
What British
shit.
paper was it?
I think maybe, I don't know.
Come on.
Maybe Breitbart.
Breitbart's not British.
They're not?
No,
Okay.
Andrew Breitbart's fucking American.
Okay, I associate with British because the one guy in there is British. Okay.
No, Andrew Breitbart was. It's funny about Andrew Breitbart. He actually designed both the Drudge Report. He actually helped set up both the Drudge Report and the Huffington Post, which, if you think about it, are kind of two sides of the same fucking coin.
Yeah. This is Huffington Post I'm reading off of.
There you go. That explains it. Okay, yes, every country has its own problem, but if I were to read this to a Brit, they'd laugh at me. They would laugh at me clear out of the fucking room.
Not all of them, because I've seen more than enough Brits do this kind of insane shit.
Send me the link, and I'll send it to Bishop and Stye and see what they say.
Okay, I'll fucking copy and paste it in the chat later.
Yeah, send me the link, and I'll send it to Brady just to see what he says. Because I have a feeling Europeans will just laugh at you. Some will, others, but as my Australian friend once said, we call Aboriginals black. So I mean, okay, I didn't tell you. My friend Tori from the Mud Bomb Radio Show, he has a story where he was out. He was kind of in the military. He was a Navy. He was a cook. And he was out in San Francisco with his friends, okay, with a couple of Australian troops, and his Australian friends said to a couple of Aboriginals, "Come on, you black cunts, we're going." And in Australia, they don't give a shit, right? They're just
the
like,
word cunt doesn't mean anything there.
No, black cunts. Come on, you black cunts.
Yeah.
Well, there were these Navy SEALs who were black, who basically beat the shit out of them. So people look at these things differently in different countries. But anyway, continue with your wretched-inducing story. And by the way, fuck the Huffington Post.
Yeah.
To lose that feeling of being cultureless, of being part of an unidentified group, and to leave behind that identity that has no positive way to be. And lots of white people, myself included, do this in thousands of tiny ways. We appropriate the cultures of others. From Africa to India to Compton to Guatemala to Harlem to Mexico. to fill in the blanks in our own.
Compton not so long ago was like an all-white, affluent fucking city, or whatever it is.
If culture is a social construct, how can it be appropriated?
I don't know, but Compton was like actually kind of an affluent thing.
First of all, being proud of one's ethnicity is fucking stupid because you have no control over it.
I mean, I don't care if people are proud of their ethnicity or whatever, but it's just making such a big deal about it. I never cared. But yeah, Compton used to be actually a affluent fucking white community until it wasn't. I don't remember what happened, but
NWA?
No, it was way before that. I'd look it up on Wikipedia, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'll look it up later.
Daniel Tatum said we need to change this. We need to give white people new ways to identify as white. Because at the end of the day, we need white people to see that we are white.
I don't give a... I know that my skin is fair, but if someone asked me what... I mean, if someone asked me what I am, I'd say I'm freaking Elliot Lindemood.
I know you can't help in this subject, but I know a lot of people that have eyeballs.
Well, one could actually argue...
It doesn't matter if you have eyeballs,
One could actually argue that is white privilege, because white people are, like, considered to be individual because it's considered normal to be white in this country, whereas black people, like, their racial identity carries before them a lot.
But
like I said, my ex-wife would bitch about that to no end.
Yeah.
Where it was like they were trying to make being black a culture, yet she was none of that shit that was supposedly black culture, yet her skin was fucking darker than midnight.
Yeah, if my black friends actually heard you, Paul, they'd laugh you out of the building. And by the way, Jim, it has nothing to do with being blind. It's all about how you perceive the world. I mean, there are blind racists out there. I've met one.
Yeah.
I've met blind racists. But it's not about being blind. It's about how you see the world.
I was trying to make fun of you, and you're taking it way too seriously.
Because it was a stupid joke.
Okay.
It was a retarded joke. It didn't really deserve... Come on, you could do way better than that.
Yeah, I know. I'm struggling here. I gotta fucking work the brain.
You could do... That was pathetic.
Yeah. Okay.
I will be honest that I don't like the word retarded much because I do have autism. I am not ashamed of it at all.
Yeah,
but
so do I.
I feel that the word is designed to demean people with autism, and that's why I really don't like hearing it.
Good. So do I.
The word retarded is actually the politically correct version of what they used to call people. Idiot.
No, it used to be the politically correct version. Now it's cognitively disabled.
Mongolian idiot was actually what they used to call people. He's a Mongolian idiot. And besides, I've been diagnosed with Asperger's, so if you want to talk about how you're offended at being retarded, being called retarded, or offended at that word, well then...
I respect your right to have a different opinion on it. All I just ask is for the exact same thing in response.
You know what? I suggest you go down to the auto parts or the fucking workshop and bitch at the people say your timing is retarded and start bitching at them and see if they don't fucking hit you in the head with the hammer. Okay, because retarded, I'm sorry, it has a meaning, and besides, being autistic is different than being mentally retarded.
Which
you should know that.
Plenty of riding the short bus.
You should, yeah, I rode the short bus as well. See, that's the problem. People think that we don't know. I've been diagnosed with everything from ADD to Asperger's to fucking demonic possession. Last part I wish was true. But, so, whenever people say, well, don't say retarded, I usually say it more. So.
It was all
again, I respect your right to use it. I just prefer not to hear it used around me.
Well,
it's one of those you can choose to do with what you want about it, but I'm simply stating my preference. I don't sense.
I prefer having 40. You know what? I prefer having 40 Swedish women suck me off right now.
But that's not gonna.
Well, yeah. Well, actually, I'm fairly monogamous.
Then to do this show, I prefer that. But unfortunately, that ain't happening.
Yeah, you don't got that kind of money.
No, it doesn't take money. You just have to ask them to be more culturally sensitive.
Well, and I'm not fucking.
Then that's not going to be the kind of lay he wants.
No. That's the kind of lay I had once, and I never want to have again. And we're not talking about that.
When we recognize and own our own whiteness, we can account for our own portion, our 1/1 billionth of responsibility for that white people have done throughout history.
Oh, I must add that this show is viciously politically incorrect, but not in like a Republican, we're politically incorrect. We're politically incorrect because like I said, even when I was like a hardcore liberal, I still thought political correctness was bullshit.
Yeah.
Me too. I just think people pretend it's a bigger deal than it actually is.
Well, it's just annoying, people telling you what you can and can't say.
Annoying, but not like the worst thing in the world, as people will have you believe.
Well, it's
I would rather have the information presented to me than have someone stumble over the correct wording for said information. To put it through a filter actually makes it bog down and makes it lose some sense.
I was told you shouldn't ever say the word bum. You should always say homeless person. Or you shouldn't say the word, retarded or whatever. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. You can tell me, like you said, I don't really like that you use it, and I've told you, well, okay, but I'm not going to change. But people saying, you shouldn't say the word. You shouldn't. Don't say that word anymore. I'm sorry. Who the hell are you?
Yeah, and you did not see me saying that.
I didn't see you do anything, actually.
I give that a C-.
Yeah, me too. Hey, at least that's
no,
a passing.
It was more that I just did not expect you to make that one at all.
At least that's a passing. No, you know how fucking pathetic public schools are now, Jim?
Yeah, I have an idea. Right? They were going downhill during my time.
You know what they did, Jim, to get more people to pass? They made a D a passing grade.
D was a passing grade in my day, but you had to have at least two courses that you made a C or better.
D is not a passing grade. It's like the people, like those standardized tests that I would just write any answer on because they didn't count for my grade, so I didn't give a fuck. They were like, wow, people are doing horrible standardized tests, which by the way is a poor way of gauging smarts because they don't count as your grade, so why would I care? So you know what they did? They just lowered the passing grades for test scores.
Oh no, they totally did.
Oh, it's.
You see, I've heard all about this. It's just hearing people that experienced it. That's what's getting my head here, and it's like fucking. Well, I remember fucking being pissed off that they discontinued American political behavior after I left school. It was like just a year or two after I graduated, and they discontinued that class. I was like, what? That was the one that fucking taught you how the fucking government works, and the guy didn't preach his values too much. He'd give a head nod to it whenever it mirrored up, but he'd still present the other side. And you got to know how the fucking government worked. The president is not totalitarian dictator. There's filters you got to go through.
But it started slipping, at least when I was in school, into graded tests. They started lowering the grades for grading tests. It used to be you got a 70. Fuck, when I ended school, it was you got a 50 and you passed.
Oh, God.
I was just like...
70 was borderline, you're going to fucking flunk out in my day. And they don't hold people back anymore, do they?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. I was supposed to repeat, I think, a couple classes, but unfortunately, I got no help from. I got no help from the fucking classes, so I failed. I was supposed to repeat them, but it was either report. It was either repeat them at the same school and get no help, or find another fucking blind school. We couldn't fucking find that, so everything went up shit creek. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say 50. I mean, I'm proud that the worst test I ever did that I took seriously was I got a 71 in geography. The only geography test I ever did. That was the only class I ever took because they were like, yeah, we know that you know where everything is, but we understand you can't find shit on a map because Braille maps are annoying.
Yeah, it sounds like a bad idea.
Braille maps are fucking stupid.
What about like a 3D reconstruction? Use that.
Well, that's what those are.
Oh, that is okay.
But the thing is,
3D chunk of Earth. We just ripped this out. Here's the crust, mantle, and magma under here. Feel that hot part? That's the magma.
But the thing is, they didn't help me because I couldn't. Like on a real map, you could point out where Lake Tahoe was. I knew where Lake Tahoe was on my map, but I couldn't point it out in real life. So it was just like, look, I'll just tell you where it is. And they're like, okay, fine. You don't have to fucking continue with this because it's retarded for you. Oh, sorry. Moronic. Making fun. See, I say it so much.
I was going to say, you're allowed to say that. Like, I'm not going to say that you're not.
I was being... See, I've said it.
We're trying to mock people, and it's fun because we all mock each other.
Hell, even Maximum Rock and Roll says it. And they're fucking politically correct to the core.
Triggered! What?
I don't know. Continue with your story.
We can work with other white people to begin to challenge bias, ignorance, and color blindness. We can use our privilege to confront the source of that unfair favoring.
What's wrong with being... Oh my god. What's wrong with being colorblind, really?
Because we are different, fundamentally. We just have to accept that that's okay.
But I don't give a fuck if we're different because of our skin color. I care about if we're different because of our brains. I don't give a fuck if you look darker than I do. It's nothing to do with being black. I don't care if you look blacker than I do or if you have a... Fuck. What does it matter? Color. I can't talk about my white culture. You know what? Study the culture of a people. If they happen to be white, great. If they happen to be a different color, fan-flippin-tastic. All these people make me want to do horrible things to good people.
Yay. I was lucky. The black family I embedded myself with during my Rachel phase, instead on my inherent goodness and that of my family, and even, I thought this was a stretch, of my ancestors. They helped me focus on my capacity to make change as a white person.
If you tried to do that, if I was black or whatever, and you tried to move into my family, I would just walk into my room and I'd give you about a 45-minute lecture. About a 45-minute lecture about how it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. And then after that 45-minute lecture, if you hadn't seen sense, I'd start beating you over the head with something very heavy. Until you either saw sense or died. Either way, I win.
They appreciated my desire to be black. They teased me, I bet. They let me, in no uncertain terms, know that I would never be black. I read James Baldwin, Toni Morrison, Steve Biko. I swore off white authors, but the black authors I read saw the immersion stage coming, and they reminded me that black people don't need white people to help them pursue liberation. The job of white people lies with teaching other white people, seeing ourselves clearly, owning our own role in oppression.
Whatever. Yeah, I oppress people of different color by sitting in my room doing this show because I'm oppressing a black person who could be doing this show. Huh? Does that make any sense?
I don't know. I was oppressing people left and right when I was sleeping on a bridge for 3 days in a church gutter for one night. And then that fucking year in a fucking homeless shelter.
I'm oppressing someone drinking Monster because someone else could have drank this Monster. I'm oppressing people by breathing on.
Monster is a shit tier energy drink.
Well, whatever. I like it. I like most energy drinks. They give me the caffeine I need.
I tried a Surge the other day. Holy shit, that was awesome.
Never tried it. Oh, yeah, well, you know, my girlfriend said, because she said something tastes like Mountain Dew. I'm like, yeah, but I like the energy drink taste.
I like coffee.
You like cock.
Yes, you do.
Excuse me? I do not eat cock from a cock gun. Caulk gun, but everyone calls it cock, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's a play on words there. Not a good play at all, by the way.
Okay. I'm not sure what happened with Rachel. Maybe it was mental illness. Maybe it was a desire to connect with her adopted brothers. Maybe she felt safer and more loved in black communities. Maybe it felt good to distance herself from the overwhelming oppressiveness of whiteness.
I like mental illness. I'm going for mental illness.
Yeah, mental illness is good. I was in a fucking loony bin. I know mental illness when I see it, and that was mental illness.
I'm going for mental illness and being retarded because like I said, my close friends were fucking white at my fucking school, but like I said, it never bothered me because we're all on this shithole planet together. It was, fuck, stupid. Why do these people exist? Why are we giving them time of day?
Because we need it to be a little bit masochistic. We're almost done. Her own and of her country and of her ancestors. But the lesson for me is remembering how deep the pain is. The pain of realizing I'm white. Oh, God. Why?
I could drive people like that so easy to suicide.
I mean, if I was out in the sun for far too long, that's a little painful, but other than that...
But Jim, your ancestors were racists.
My ancestors were slaves, according to one genealogist. Of course, I don't know how well his account was, because it was a guy that was just training to be a genealogist in fucking college. But Jim, according to him, back during fucking Roman times, my family was a slave. So, yeah.
But Jim, your ancestors might also be slave dealers and evil racists.
Actually, none of that turned up. We were too low class, didn't have the money.
But Jim, some people in your family might have racist beliefs. Doesn't that make you scream and squirm? And people with your skin tone, Jim, were slave dealers and slave traders. People with your skin tone.
I want to play. There's this one game that lets you play Tetris with slaves.
But it's just okay. What? I
think the whole thing is the fact that all we have to do is fucking just combat this shit when it arises. But this preemptive shit just leads to this kind of garbage. We're going to nip it in the bud before it happens, before it becomes mainstream.
I mean, what kind of car do you drive? What kind of car do you drive, Jim? A Pontiac Grand Prix?
Yeah, and it's fucking leaking gas at the fucking fuel filter. It needs more repairs done with it than it's going to be worth getting it fucking inspected, so I'm probably going to end up junking the damn thing.
Probably more than you could sell it for too. But Jim, don't you feel weird getting into Pontiac Grand Prix? After all, Pontiac, that was an Indian, and second of all, Pontiac Grand Prix probably ran down someone and killed them. Don't you feel painful getting in that car?
I feel painful getting in that car simply because I think I might blow up at some point if
Yeah.
the gas fleet gets any worse.
Yeah, but that's basically what she, I'm guessing it's a girl, is saying is that we should feel guilty for things we had no control over and things we can combat it and basically, but we still have no control over just because people of our skin tone. So I have a Jeep. Do I feel sad that Jeeps kill people? I don't really care, to be honest.
Oh, God. And the other thing is, you realize that people of other skin tones own slaves. I mean,
In
look
Africa,
at the Quran. Look at the Quran. That's written history. They have rules on slave ownership, and those people aren't necessarily white.
in Ethiopia, they owned slaves clear until the 30s, I think.
Yeah. And that nation...
We're all slaves under the 1%.
Stop.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah, but I don't want to get into a fucking political thing right now.
Isn't this called Politically Trendy Radio?
Political Trendy Radio, and Political Trendy is a song, as I've told you.
Oh, you actually haven't told me, but okay.
We're doing a PTR fact tomorrow of basically a bunch of frequently asked questions, and that's going to be the first question. And I refuse to answer it after that point. If people ask where's the name come from, I'm going to say, there's a YouTube video right there. Watch it. Or stick your dick in a meat grinder. I don't care.
We do talk about politics on occasion. I guess this kind of qualifies, but usually it's like shitting on everything.
Basically, I just couldn't think of a good enough name for the show, so I guess it's kind of too late to change because it's episode 57, but if anyone could come up with a better name for the show, and no, not something random, Jim, like sewer slime cunts or something, I don't know. Something kind of catchy.
Sewer of the internet.
Sewer radio. Sewer slime radio.
Raw sewage radio.
Raw sewage?
Mason and Friends.
No, fuck Mason.
Oh, God, no.
Why does he keep coming on this show? I mean, he knows he's going to get laughed off the air.
Let him have his load.
No. But how many... I think every time Mason's come on the past 3 or 4 times, Jim's ended up yelling at him.
My girlfriend yelled at him.
No, you yelled at him for her. Because he kept talking... The thing about Mason... Okay, Jim, trying to make a point, I'll just interrupt you with some point and then drone on and on and on about it and go into a totally different topic.
Yeah.
At least Anarchist not even that bad. He's bad. He's bad. Oh, wait, he probably likes it when I call him bad.
Okay,
Is he into that stuff?
What?
Is he into that stuff, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he says he is. He's never experienced it, so I say experience it before you say something, just like...
I don't know about that.
I'm not going to say I'm into something before I've experienced it.
Well, would interested in experiencing something be an acceptable answer?
Well, he takes it to the point where he acts like he has experienced it. That's the thing.
Because one of my hobbies is reading BDSM literature, so...
I used to hang around like BDSM forums, but then they got all shit when 50 Shades of Shit came on.
Oh, yeah.
So...
But it is a lifestyle I do follow quite closely.
I don't follow it closely, but...
Have I experienced it? Not in, like, large amounts, but yeah.
It's fun.
I did
But,
enjoy it.
You know, I like vanilla a bit, so yeah, whatever.
Vanilla can be nice too.
I'm not into pain. I'm into giving pain. More sadistic than anything else.
Yeah.
And that is actually kind of true. I've once tried to...
I just like running the show like humiliation and shit like that. But I'm a top in all of this.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. I'm running the show here, and I get to humiliate you.
Yes, master.
I guess I'm kind of... I'm not dominant or... What would you... Lone wolf. That's what I call myself. But when it comes to running the show, I guess I do have some kind of dominant character. I mean, I am the host.
It has nothing to do, there's no point even going over that stuff if it's not in a sexual manner, though, so I'd say it's kind of semantics at this point.
No, because it's not just about sex, it's also about personality.
Well, I know people that are, like, dominant as hell in real life and are actually, like, complete submissives.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's usually how it runs. You know, the more control you have over your own life, the less you want whenever you're in the sack.
I can go either way in the sack. If she wants a little more control, fine. I'm not going to be humiliated or anything. That's when I say, all right, that's it. I'm bringing out the sledgehammer. You're going to die now.
Yay.
In the middle of sex.
Yes.
Okay.
No, but so you know, it's I'm either or, but definitely, you know, I have complete.
All right,
control.
as long as you let her come before she kills you.
Yes. No, she doesn't get to. I'm gonna make it just till she's about to, then boom, so she dies disappointed.
That reminds me of a skit that I fucking wrote up whenever I was trying to do the damn Montler thing. Where, like, it's just this huge party scene where, you know, it's like 7 in the morning and the party's still kind of going and people are fucking dying off. And, like, there's a guy getting head right in front of the refrigerator. He's like, I'm gonna come. Then gets his head blown off just so I could go in the fucking fridge and grab my beer.
I'm not a party guy.
I would be if I had friends. I mean, I'd much rather do that than do this fucking show.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah, but here's kind of a simulated party, I guess. But
Yeah.
see, the thing is, the thing really quickly about this, we're both nerds and partiers at the same time.
Yeah, it's a fun combo.
Anyway, next story, or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, but the lesson for me is remembering how deep the pain is, the pain of realizing I'm white, and that I and my ancestors are responsible for the incredible racialized mess we find ourselves in today. How are you responsible for shit that you weren't even born for?
Especially if you're against it, but, oh god, I don't know. There's a bunch of semantic arguments about how, but I don't want to get into semantics because then my head will explode just out of sheer annoyance.
Yeah.
Honestly, Time Cube is
done.
saner than most of this shit.
Yes, Time Cube is sane compared to this. The pain of facing that honestly is blinding. It's worse than being on the receiving end of that oppression.
Watch your mouth, bitch.
Wait.
Wait, what?
You're saying that being privileged is worse than being oppressed.
Because
No.
I get it. I get what they're trying to say, because the fact that other people aren't privileged, quote unquote, is painful to them. And by the way, about the blind thing, watch your mouth, bitch. I'll fucking end your life. You're not allowed to say the word blind. And that's someone who doesn't. If that's someone who doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna fucking tap you on the shoulder so you fall off the cliff.
If I do that.
Oh, I'll be getting it on tape.
No. If I do that, then I deserve to die, because even I'm not that bad.
Out of curiosity, how late do you guys typically go?
We go until Jim wants to go to sleep, pretty much.
Which is typically when?
Whenever he feels like it.
Yeah, some nights it's early, some nights it goes on. I'm probably staying up all night because I got to go with my aunt to get hay for her horses.
Hay is for horses.
I have to go to. I'm working tomorrow, and we're about to switch over to a clean energy campaign. So.
Well, if you gotta duck out.
No, not yet. But we are switching to a completely different environmental campaign tomorrow.
Cool. Whatever. I switched to a completely different pair of underwear today.
Holy shit! Wait, what color? Oh wait. Oh fuck! Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's
a
actually
perfectly valid question. What color? You know, mine's shit-stained brown. You know.
That's actually a funny story. We go to races, and I get die-cast replicas, as Jim knows all too well.
Uh-huh.
And we go to this one guy's name is Roger, and he's really funny, and he's really cool, and we see him in almost every race. And I was talking about a certain die-cast that he had, and he goes, and he fully knows I'm playing. He goes, "Oh yeah, what color is it, smartass?" I thought that was hilarious. He's a cool guy. He's yeah. Of course, he said it all jokingly, and we had a good laugh. But see, that's the thing. I'm the one who does the blind jokes mostly.
Yeah.
Jim can sometimes do it well, but tonight
I'm off. Yeah.
That was
new material. I've exhausted so much shit.
Yeah, I was like, he's joking, but he doesn't deserve my laughter. He deserves to be made fun of.
Okay.
Then there are, of course, people that are just freaking out about the fact that you've never watched porn or been able to.
I've listened to porn, plenty of porn.
Oh, I guess they make like porn for blind people or something, or
no, but I've listened to fucking like erotic stories, which I find hilarious.
Yeah, because again, I don't like it. I actually do not like porn myself. I find it to be like just a crude form of art, because I see sex as an art.
Whatever. I find.
So I watch only the finest of erotic literature.
I find erotic stories to be very unrealistic and stupid, but porn's funny.
Oh, you have to look for the good ones.
It mainly makes me laugh. I have heard Japanese fart porn before, and Brazilian fart porn.
And my girlfriend has watched Sailor 7 Balls.
Wait, what?
But none of you have watched Edward Penis Hands.
Sailor 7
I might have to
Balls.
now.
And Sailor 7 Balls is a hentai that combines Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, and Sailor Moon gets a Dragon Ball inside her twat, and she grows a cock, but keeps the twat, so she's a hermaphrodite now, and
that's it.
All kinds of fucking crazy sex happens, and
that's it. I thought it was going to be something intense.
It's fucked up. I couldn't stop laughing. I didn't watch it. I just overheard it while she was watching. I was like, what
my friends literally spam my inbox with anthropomorphic honeybee porn, which I'm not into at all.
I find that concept hilarious.
So do I. That's fucking awesome.
Anthropomorphic honeybee porn?
Jim, you need to find some.
Yeah. Because I've seen anthropomorphic, like fucking all kinds of animals.
Well, I mean, it's because you do know what my job is, right?
Yeah, I know what your job is, and I already knew what that was in reference to.
Okay.
Yes, he actually gave me a link after the fact to some sort of bees campaign, which I saw the headline and said, meh, and then went back to massacring bees for a living.
Yay, massacring our existence.
My boss recently liked a Facebook post where I put a new job as pesticide sprayer at Monsanto.
I kill bees for a living, basically just because I want to piss you off.
Well, no, it's not about like needing to clear a hive off because they're stinging you. That's not an issue we have.
No, I'm I spray pesticides all the time, and then just watch them die.
Especially on the crops we eat, that makes them delicious.
Pesticide. Hey, I eat fucking food. But anyway, if you have more of the story, please continue, because I'm tired of it.
Yeah, we're almost done. 2 paragraphs. Being white, even with the feeling of culturelessness and responsibility for racism, is nothing compared to not being white. But being white and facing the truth of what that means historically and systematically can drive you to do the weird and unthinkable things we see in Rachel today. It seems like a good warning. Rachel's actions are a potential pitfall for any white people on the journey towards recognizing the truth of what it means to be white and accepting responsibility for it. But we cannot be white. But we cannot not be white. And we cannot undo what whiteness has done. We can only start from where we are and who we are. White racial identity development was first theorized and written by Dr. Janet Helms. Allie Michael, a PhD, is a director of P12 Consulting and Professional Development at the Center of Study of Race and Equality in Education at the University of Pennsylvania.
Great. Hey, Jim.
That's not far from here. I could drive there in a couple hours. Oh, God.
So, you proud of that, Jimmy? I love it when something, because California is full of these people, but I just love when it's his state, because I love it when it's not my state that's not, the laughing stock of everything.
Oh, God. And shit, they're propping up books, for readers interested in how white people can work towards racial justice and still be white, or have a white person, or how a white person could have a positive racial identity without being a white supremacist. Pick up any one of these books that they mentioned above that I skipped over.
They don't deserve to be plugged.
Oh, God.
I don't care. I've never thought of myself as a white male or anything. My skin's fair, and I'm a male. If that makes me some sort of oppressor, then it can't be helped. Whatever. If that's really the way you want to look at me, then go ahead and look at me that way.
Yay.
I've long since ceased caring.
Yay, ceasing caring.
Because I'm tired of morons.
Followers are gay, chocolates are gayer. Let's get naked and fuck to some slayer. I think I'll do that.
Roses are red, so is our state. If we could be comrades, that would be great.
No. So that's playing identity politics being red. And that's racist.
The funny thing is Screwdriver called their followers comrades.
Yeah, that's lots of fun.
A comrade has fallen. I'm just like, Ian, really?
Yeah. I still laugh. One of my fucking racist friends would say that he's white for a black man. You're one of the white ones. Oh, God.
Roses are red, and so is blood. That doesn't really rhyme. I just want to see people fucking bleed right now.
Yeah.
And fuck communism.
And fuck everything. God damn.
He's broke his own brain, actually.
Yeah, I broke my own brain because I'm the one that found it and read it.
Yes. See, that's why I'm... This show is a bad idea, Elliot. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it hurts you, and now you're going to have nightmares about being white. As you imagine what being white looks like, but then you realize you have no concept of that.
Like I said, I'm going to send it to my British and European friends, and if I can actually send them an audio, like a hangout, and just record them laughing at you.
Yeah.
Then I'll send it to you.
Yeah, let them laugh. Oh, God.
I mean, yeah, okay. Some see it like that, but others are just like, I've got better things to worry about, like putting food on the table.
Yeah, that's most people. But these people are the ones that go out there and try to get no fucking politics and usually succeed because they know how to kiss ass.
And they have far too much time on their hands.
Uh-huh.
That's why they need to work in our hive minds. For the insect lord. That's why when I become dictator, they will work in the hive mind for the insect lord.
There we go.
But there won't be insect lords if we keep overusing our pesticides.
Well, we'll just force people to do the job of bees.
The insect lords.
China already does that. It's literal child labor.
Good. The insect lords are immune to pesticides.
What about the grunts?
The grunts can kiss my ass. In fact, they do. I have grunts line up and kiss my ass every morning. Because I am an auto. Yes, they die because they breathe in my anal fumes.
My rectal expenditures are probably far worse than yours. Damn it, words are failing me again.
How often do you shower?
How often
Daily.
do I?
How often do you?
I'm not from California.
What, Jim?
About every other day. Unless I'm working, then it's daily.
Yeah, okay, we're about equal.
What's your job?
Right now, my job is looking for work. Before that, I was working as janitor.
Okay.
Before that, I was in a meat packing plant.
So I shower on a daily basis just because I like to feel my skin just feels grimy after a while.
But sometimes if I'm busy as fuck, and sometimes if I don't fucking go out, I will fucking hold off for a while, and then
Also, we have water.
Fucking stink. So when I fucking shower, so I don't know if they're worse, Jim. I'm pretty unhygienic sometimes.
Yes, but I know my ass is one stinky thing.
Yes.
I also enjoy smelling good for my girlfriend as I get laid. So
at this point, I don't give a fuck what. Well, I'm not going into that on air. I'm not divulging personal problems on air because I don't. It's not worth it. Besides, I don't get fucking butthurt by shit. I just fucking move on. That's why I fucking screamo bands. Oh, I ended a 4-year relationship. I ended an 18-month-long relationship, and you know what I did the minute after I fucking ended it? I fucking did an episode of PTR and didn't even mention it. I mean, people say that's cold and unfeeling. It's more like I close doors pretty damn easily. And I may peek in and remember what it was like, but I close doors on my life pretty easily. And my feeling is if it's over, it's fucking over. And it's whatever. Fuck it. I don't care. It was episode 8 or 9, I think, that it was we ended it, and then I just did PTR, and I was just like, whatever. I'm not really. I can love, but I can also show great indifference.
Yes, the ability to cease caring is legendary.
Like I said, now that yeah, okay, maybe we had good times, but when it's over, it's over, and it's time. I gotta move on. I mean, I've seen racers killed in front of me at the fucking track. And if you don't know how that feels to be a 5-year-old, okay, and see one of your favorite racers killed, you've gotta experience that. It makes you think.
I've seen people I've cared about in my life die, so I do know. It's family, but still, like close members of family.
Yeah, but still, like I said, it's been 3. It was almost 4, but we left just before that happened. But I mean, I've seen some pretty bad things on the track and live in front of me. So, but I've learned from that you can't just sit around and cry all the time because guess what? The world turns. I mean, I'm not saying don't care. You can of course care and grieve, but I agree. I'm a very private griever. Although I do tributes and shit because I think that's, but if Jim died, I'm pretty sure I just would shrug my shoulders and piss on his grave.
Yes, everyone should piss on my grave.
Yes. If I
get what I want done, which is to be composted and have pot grow out of me.
Jim, if I somehow die before you, which I don't know how that would happen, but if I somehow do that, I want you to shit on my grave.
Okay, that's a deal.
Yay!
A road trip just to do that.
Yes. What are you doing? He wanted me to do it. Look, I have the audio recording. Oh, okay.
Move along.
Yeah, okay. Well, nothing to see here. Bye. Yeah, fuck. But, yeah, I've always been one to just... It's always time to move on because...
I mean, I fucking lost everything whenever I went homeless last time. I lost... including my rights to my own kids. I can't fucking see them.
Yeah.
I have no idea how they've been doing past decade.
Yeah.
And it's just like that numb pain. It's either let the numb pain get to you or just let it fucking,
Smoke
go
weed.
on. I wish I could. I don't know anyone that sells any.
I mean, yeah, you can either let it absorb you. I mean, I don't know what that's like, so perhaps I shouldn't speak, but,
I take it you're in California, Elliot? Or, sorry, Joe, too?
No, I'm in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
PA, mofo.
Yeah, near Pittsburgh. Or as I call it, Schittsburg.
At least
I've heard all the stories.
At least Philadelphia has good sandwiches.
Yeah, but... I mean, at least their ghettos are real ghettos.
Yeah, true. Hey, we have Compton. Shut up.
Our ghettos out here are wannabe ghettos. I mean, they get bad, but they're still wannabe, and people get paranoid going there.
Just wait till you see Midwest ghetto.
God, probably white trash people drinking Strohs.
Nope, we have Detroit and Chicago.
Oh yeah, Detroit, holy shit. And Chicago, holy shit.
Detroit
is a third world country.
Chicago is, I've heard, one of the most corrupt cities in the world.
There are good parts of Chicago. There are good parts of Chicago.
Yeah, but from every Chicagoan I've heard.
You see, I heard that Dante traveled to the future, saw Chicago, and used that as inspiration for the city of Dis.
See, everything I've heard about...
Detroit is worse than Chicago.
Yeah, Detroit is, but I've heard Chicago is corrupt as fuck.
Oh, yes, but it's like a lesser evil.
Yeah, but yeah, Detroit is... Detroit's fucked.
Yeah, Detroit's really fucked. I don't think even hell has words for that.
You know it's fucked when it's on a abandoned cities thing I was watching.
Oh fuck! There was hell. There's a lot of fucking people posting up shit because oh god. Like, you got all these black people coming up saying, and the fucking Democrats destroyed us, so that's why we're going Republican. And it's like, you realize that was part of the dissent, and the Democrats just put the knife in the fucking fork, so, both sides kind of had to turn at that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah, but Pennsylvania has incantation, and the Midwest has fucking Coven and Middle of the Road, so...
Wait, where are those bands from?
Coven is from Illinois, and then Indiana, and Manila Road is from Wichita, Kansas. Incantations from Pennsylvania, bastard. But then again...
No, you probably wouldn't like them, White Empress.
I don't know. But then again, we have Slayer, so...
Yeah.
Fuck you. We are the Thrash Kings. And Metallica before they sucked.
Yes, before they sucked.
So we are the Thrash Kings, but you have Incantation. So the Midwest has some very interesting bands.
There's my band.
Yeah, but your band sucks.
We actually don't have anything else out yet, so we can't suck yet.
No, you suck because you're in it. It's probably vapor dark.
Nope. It's atmospheric folk.
Yeah, not what I think. My band is. My friend plays in Agalok, actually.
What's his name?
He's the drummer.
Okay. One of my best my best friend and bandmate is the world's biggest Agalok fanboy.
He's also.
Hello?
Well, tell him I didn't even give a shit about Agalok until he. Hello.
Okay. I hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
I didn't give a shit about Agalok until Aesop joined.
Who did?
He's also in the cold black, the drummer.
Oh, your friend, yeah.
Yeah, he's also in this really cool black metal, power metal punk band that I posted. But
Called
VHOL. I don't know how to pronounce their name. Vol. I don't. I have both their albums. I found one in fucking that really cool store I was telling Jim about in San Luis Obispo.
Yeah, you got a cool store.
No, they do. That's not near me, Jim. That's 200 miles away.
Okay, well, I don't know this shit.
Yeah, that's the one where I got Vomit the Soul, Funerus, and New Slayer. Well, you should know, Jim. You should know. But I completely get it because I've never been to Pennsylvania, so I think everything is right beside you. Like, oh, Pennsylvania, so like Nazareth, that's like your home, right?
Nah. Oh, hell,
Where's Nazareth?
About an hour or so to Centralia. I still want to go back. Last time I was there, I was too drunk to remember much.
Nazareth, that's where the Andretti's are from, by the way. You know, well, by Italy, but you know, Mario Andretti, fucking great racer.
I'm in Latrobe. It's known for its golfer, Fred Rogers.
I don't give a fuck. And then there's Pocono, the triangle racetrack.
Yeah, it's a bit
Pocono.
It's about an hour drive.
Yeah, it's a Long Pond. Oh, don't give me that shit. Do you know? We go take about 3 trips to Laguna Seca, which is about 300 miles away. So don't give me shit about distance. California's a huge state, though. California's like a country in and of itself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you probably make that mistake that, well, Elliot's from California. He's right next to San Francisco.
I've made that mistake.
Not exactly. Yeah, right next to San Francisco, just right next, meaning a couple 100 miles.
Yeah. People are bitching about crazy stalkers. Lovely.
Pennsylvania, that's near Colorado, right?
Probably. I don't know.
I'll be back.
I asked you the stupidest question.
It's somewhere after Ohio, and so, you know, maybe.
Oh, I told my dad your Denny's story about. Well, let's just go to the next time zone. It'll fucking. Let's drive
we were going
to the next
Burger
time
King.
zone.
Yeah, we were
Burger
trying
King,
to go to
whatever.
Burger King. Yeah, find one that was still open.
That's now become a running joke in the family.
Yeah, that's great. It deserves it. I was just too fucking wasted, man. I didn't know what the fuck was up.
Yes, that's now actually become something of a running joke here.
See, whenever I was in high school, though, Denny's was the holy ground. We would go there and have coffee and smoke cigarette at $5. It's all you needed for a day at the mall. That got you a pack of smokes, and a grand slam with a coffee at Denny's.
Nice.
That's the way it was back then, and just sit there and bullshit for hours. There was one time where me and my buddy took a bet that we could spend 24 hours in Denny's, and the guy would have to pay us, the cost plus $20. And we didn't totally gyp him for all the food we ordered, but we did order a meal every time that they switched shifts, and we made certain to tip the waitresses every time they were leaving. So yeah, we made a quick $20 that way, on top of having all our food and tips paid for.
Why did he pay you?
For spending 24 hours straight at Denny's.
I didn't know they pay you for that.
No, this was a bet we made with someone. They bet us that because we fucking hung out there all the time. It's like, but you couldn't stay 24 hours there. Challenge accepted. I mean, we were on good terms with most of the waitresses, and whenever we told them what the fuck was going on, so we were telling them, just let us know when you're, about to clock out. We'll give you your tip.
That's awesome. I want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
on good
shit,
terms.
I think I'm delaying it.
Yeah, you probably are. Fuck. Well, we've been on here for hours.
Let me just refresh really quick.
Okay. Govik is announcing Rafa. Govik is like Karnov, who sodomized a goat monkey and smoked a blunt with Goofy, the dog thing.
Yes, I'll be on good terms with the wait staff.
Yeah, definitely got me on good terms with the wait staff. Fuck. Yeah, you're kind of fucking up now, even worse than before.
Hang on.
Okay, now I can hear your screen reader going off good.
Hang on a minute. Gonna exit this.
Okay. Wow. Okay, maybe it's on my end. Hold on a second. I'm gonna fucking shift out real quick. I'll refresh. Hello.
Yo, yo, yo.
Okay, I had weird white screen of weirdness.
You kind of faded out there for a minute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, there seems to be a bit of delay. Oh, lovely.
Yes, there is a bit of delay.
Just when you think you got problems solved, they fucking stack up.
Is Paul here?
Yeah, he's
maybe you can tell us.
Here, but he's not on screen. I think he left to take a piss or something.
Oh, because I was gonna say you can tell us what the fuck.
Yay, what the fuck?
Refresh your thing just in case.
I already did.
Oh.
I did that probably while you're refreshing yours. So I had a weird white screen of fucked upness, and it's usually a black screen.
I don't know.
Hooray.
As long as it's not the blue screen. As long as it's not the blue screen.
Yeah, the blue screen's the bad one.
Yeah. No Shiite.
So, Cleric of the Voices now.
Yes.
So we're gonna have to go over which domains you're gonna get to select there.
That should be fun.
We're talking 3.5 now?
Okay, Paul.
Pathfinder, same thing.
Paul,
Okay.
we
Yeah?
need you to help us with something.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me if I sound decent, and tell me if Jim sounds decent.
Like sound quality?
Because there's a delay on one of us, and one of us can't really hear the other.
Okay, Elliot, you're fine. Jim, can you talk for me for a second?
I shit in my Cocoa Puffs.
Who doesn't? Yeah, you sound fine.
Yeah, there's this weird delay where it takes me for I can kind of hear Jim a little bit of bleed through, so I can actually hear when he hears me.
That might have been me, because when I AFK'd, I didn't realize that my mic accidentally
No.
fell towards my speaker.
No, that's Jim. It's always him. We can hear even though he's here. I can always hear a little bit of bleed through, so I can always tell if he can hear me or not most of the time. So there's some delay between one of us.
Yeah. And now it's not seeming to be a problem now, so something happened.
Someone refreshed, and maybe Paul saved us. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. It does seem to
I
go a
don't
bit
care.
better whenever the girlfriend's on, too, so maybe we need 3 connections or something. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's not awful.
Yeah. Now I'm at a loss for things to talk about now.
Yeah, you want to just kind of end it?
Yeah, I think that's probably what we should do.
Alright.
Yeah. I mean, we've been here for 3 hours and shit.
Yeah. And I gotta get me more coffee,
All right.
and I gotta piss.
Yep. And we can, if you want to fucking be up, we can bullshit on the chat or whatever.
Yay. Yeah, we could do that.
And get another monster. So
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to do the outro.
Go for it.
Yeah. It's good to end now and then rather than having my computer crash.
Hooray.
So this has been Political Trendy Radio episode 57 for January 18th, 19th, whatever, 2016. You can, if you like to complain about us, or if you like to commend us, commend or condemn, you can
Or
email the
death
show at
threat.
ELLindemood, or death threat. You can email the show at ELLindemood@gmail.com. Facebook.com, like us at facebook.com/politicaltrendyradio. Twitter is at PTRadio666. PTR is all capitalized. For Paul, who didn't annoy me as much. For Shane, who didn't say anything. Eric, who doesn't really deserve a plug. My kind of de facto co-host has been Jim Kamikaze Thompson. And I am Elliot Lindemood saying so long and fuck the bees.